This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
Everybody, what the hell's going on out there? Oh, there's Lone Blue. There's Lone Blue. Yep, I couldn't get the voice mod thing to work, so I don't have access to my normal sound effects on there. So had to. Didn't want you guys to wait another 5 minutes. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't opening up. But, yeah, the software wasn't opening up. How's it going? Thanks, Scott Holland. Yeah, it was kind of cool today. There was, DeSantis fired one of their, like an attorney because he wouldn't comply to the laws, you know, that are on the books that people voted for. All right, but what was cool, standing next to him was Grady Judd. And Scott Holland sent it to me, and I was like, wow, wouldn't that be amazing? DeSantis is president, and the Attorney General of the United States, Grady Judd. Boy, would things turn around in a hurry. Man, that'd be amazing. We don't have time to sit around and sort of lollygag and get the country back on track with the law enforcement, I can tell you that. Just don't have time. But if you're one of the people that aren't for that, something happens to you, don't complain, okay? So, you know, just realize that it was you that did it to yourself. Yeah. Excellent. Man, that would be awesome. Man, could you imagine Grady Judd? just the part that I would just think would be incredible are the press conferences with Grady Judd. You know? My God. I mean, people would absolutely love it. He would tell you exactly what's going on, you know, instead of some bogus hiding behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. Anyways, most of you probably went and watched the video that I made today. It was just, it's one of those things I have to make. I don't name the creator because it's, you know, it's embarrassing for them. But the video was so ludicrous, absolutely shameful, where you have somebody claiming, like, and like it was this thing that people talked about early on, but nobody ran with it. You know why? Because they're not idiots. Okay, that's why they didn't do that. And then there was people that just say it. So here's the thing: people notice the bridge guy is spitting when they want it to match their suspect or something. You know, like they have a guy in mind that's chewing, so, you know, is a chewer, so probably spits sometimes. So then we're gonna notice that he's spitting. The reality is like I showed you guys on the video's too blurry to make out anything. When you watch it in real time, his head is relatively in the same position anyways. But even if it turned, you wouldn't be able to tell that he spit. Here's the thing, though. This is something I didn't put in the video, is that well, there's a couple things. One is that, here, I'll go over here. I think it's important, you know, because I want people to realize the lunacy that goes on out there. It isn't just sort of, oh, great, they just have a different opinion. Don't worry about it. It's all good. No, it's harmful as hell to the case, okay? So what this I don't even know what you call him, this, snake oil salesman, whatever you want to call it, comes in here and says right around, let me zoom in, okay, because you got to do it the way he does it. So you got to zoom in, everybody. You got to make sure you're zoomed in, and there it is. So right there, oh, did you see that? He turned his, right there, look at that, look. He turned his head, he obviously spit right there. Well, how the hell do you even know that? And by the way, watch this. Second is 30 frames a second. Watch this right here. Here he is looking straight ahead. That's where he says he spits. Boom, 2, and then boom right here. So you're going to tell me that in a tenth of a second, I mean, this guy is the quickest spitter in history. He was actually trying to, he didn't want to be identified if he happened to be filmed, so he was like a, I mean, can any one of you try to spit in 1/10 of a second to the side? Try to do it like that. It's crazy. But yes, if you play it in slow-mo, everybody. Notice how that was mentioned, too. You got to watch it in slow-mo. Then you can see him spitting. Yeah, he's over there, Okay, but, so that part was crazy. Then also, the part that was really probably the most offensive part was where he acted like he was smarter than law enforcement, and he doesn't know why they didn't look at this earlier, and they could have been onto something. So all of you out there, if you could please look around for people who spit. Spend the rest of your days until this case is solved looking around. If you're sitting on a bus stop and you see somebody going, write their name down, description of them. You never know. That could be the killer, all right? So everybody just keep looking around for people who spit all day long, especially habitual spitters. I mean, I want you to go to parks, and I want you to sit there, and I want you to sort of scope out people with your binoculars and just check out, and if you see somebody that's spitting more than once or twice, I guess we're going to have to come down with an exact science on that. As a habitual spitter, one that spits, just all the time, like boom, 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 he's spitting every 5 seconds, or is it one every 2 seconds? We got to get that down for you guys, but regardless, in the meantime, keep an eye out for the nefarious spitters out there. You never know. They could just be a killer. And sitting there and bashing law enforcement because they didn't notice it is such a ludicrous statement. But here's the thing. It fits the people that like those kind of videos. They're the ones that hate the law enforcement. They're the ones that think they all suck. They don't do anything. They're the ones that attack the family over and over and over. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything's a weird, why is it like this? Ooh. They purposely didn't notice him spitting. They could have given you guys that information months ago, everybody. They could have told us all to be looking for spitters. And then you'd have people like almost spitting, but they'd be drooling because they meant to spit all the time, but they'd be holding it in their mouth. So eventually we'd have to look for the droolers because they're hiding the fact that they're the nefarious spitter that everybody was looking for. Yeah. I mean, does anybody think at all? You can put whatever the hell you want. See, here's the thing. People can watch whatever the hell they want to do. They can talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about. The true crime genre, however, deserves a much higher standard of people putting out videos than that type of garbage. It is absolutely disgusting, ridiculous shit to sit there and tell all your viewers to be on the lookout for somebody who spits. Man, law enforcement sucks because they didn't notice it. All right? So here's the thing, everybody. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, but if you support stuff like that, there's something wrong with you too. Okay? And that is the truth. Now, you can do with that whatever the hell you want to do. All right. Oh, he just hocked a loogie. Yeah, well, where is it? I don't know. It's just really... What's going on, you guys? What in the hell is going on? And then it's like the whole suggestion of They could have checked the bridge. If they looked sooner, they could have found the big chunk of spit that was on the bridge, and they could have identified him. Man, law enforcement just didn't do it. I've never heard anything more ridiculous. And that was sort of, that video in itself is a synopsis of the ludicrous shit that is being done in the case. Right there. That right there. Now, people might not think that I do enough of the sensationalism garbage, but I don't really care, okay? Because that's not the way to do it. Hey, thank you. The Velvet Army. Who had a great story last night. You guys should go listen to it. This is in honor of all the freaks who said such supportive things to me last night. Your lights are strong in this dark world, and to Gray for his brilliant listening, encouraging skills, you have revived my spirit. Love you all to pieces. Ah, that's so nice. Very cool. Well, thank you. The Velvet Army. Do you want me to put you on there? Well, I'll put you a few on there just so you can. There you go. Put half of them. Thanks, Tawny Lee. Appreciate it. And you, Sherlock Hemlock.
Who said such supportive things to me last night. Your lights are strong in this dark world. And to Gray for his brilliant listening / encouraging skills. You have revived my spirit. Love you all to pieces.
Very nice there, the Velvet Army. Thank you. Look at. Yeah, I mean, that's what Straight Drop used to do. Remember that? Just sort of point at a grainy, blurry thing and claim it's something, and everybody would run around going, oh my God, oh my God. Well, I'm glad, Tamara, because it was a joke. Problem is enough people watched it where it's concerning, where you go, wow. And especially the comments, just ludicrous. What? Here, I have the comments somewhere. Let me see if I'll switch over to a different window. I don't want the person's name out there, but hold on 1 second. The comment was under the video. Listen to this. I've watched this countless times, slowed it down and zoomed in and everything. I never noticed until you pointed it out. Now it's so obvious. 100% this is important information that needs to be out there. Front and center. Thank you. And I'm so glad. There, I won't read the rest of it. Can you believe that shit? Hey, thanks, Bobby. I mean, that's the scary part, and all the comments are like that. See, these people believe that a person like that, who's just barely been on YouTube, has no credibility whatsoever, immediately gets credibility. And then people like me that have been on the air for a long time, they all ridicule and mock like I'm somebody that just makes shit up, and that's exactly the opposite of what we do over here. Okay? I've been debunking stuff since the beginning because it's always important to do, and I'm going to continue to debunk exactly the same thing, but I won't mention the YouTuber's name or anything like that, but I have the right to discredit false information. Or, here's the thing in this case. Is it possible that this guy is is somebody that spits all day long? Sure. But the video doesn't show that. Okay, it shows a slight turn in a 1/10th of a second period of time. Just a really quick little ding ding, and he's spitting. And then you say he's a habitual spitter off of one spit. So isn't that a really, like, the most ridiculously crappy sample size you've ever heard in your life? Like, is that really what you're going to make an entire... Man, I sure as hell hope you're not an investigator of any kind in any situation. That is insane. But sadly, imagine that. If he was a prosecutor going to a jury of the people that watch his channel and said, oh yes, look right there. Oh, he's spitting, he's a habitual spitter. And they go, yay, yay. Okay, and they would all believe it, and you get wrongfully convicted people all day long with people that think like that. That's why I get scared about society and just in general, just complete lunacy. Yeah. There's Amber Maiden slapping her face. Yeah. yeah, I don't need to say their names or anything like that. I don't really want you to watch the video. I'm just telling you that I watched it, and I was ashamed to almost be a human being, listening to somebody ridicule the police because they didn't notice that he loogied, or spit out to the side, and therefore it has to be a habitual spitter. And why haven't they told us all? They should have been, well, he's got reddish brown hair, eyes that they're not blue. That's all I can tell you. I just know that they're not blue. He maybe be up 5'6", 5'9", or something like that. But he also spits all day long. If they had just said that, the case would have been solved a long time ago. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Doesn't it? Hey! Well, thanks, Kelly Dragonborn, and also welcome to Jackball TV. Again, I think you were already a member at some point. So, and if what I'm saying here offends you because you're somebody that believed that he was spitting, like it's just a fact, then that's just your fault. I don't care that you feel bad about it. That's just man, like, have a little bit more discerning eye when you hear somebody. Now there's this other YouTuber that that tries to imitate people's voices and mocks everybody. I don't care, and they're all buddies. There's this merry band of lunatics that are making videos. There's like 4 of them, and they're all friends, and they all support each other's videos, and that's because they sort of share the same little audience of wackos, right? And I really believe that. I think that there's a certain level, like most true crime YouTubers, they watch true crime and they're really trying to figure something out and learn something and that kind of thing. They don't want the sensationalistic, the garbage coming in. Most of them. And but then there's also people out there that get really bored when it's just the logical kind of, milquetoast sort of, like, here's the information, They get bored with it, so they need to spice it up a bit. So that's when you start throwing in stuff like, ooh, did you see the way Becky slid the book off the bed? Ooh, do you see that person that looks like Mike in the background at the Florifier, even though he's about 10 inches taller than everybody else? Yeah. So, like, just have a little bit better, expect more from your YouTubers, okay? That's all I can say. And I was going to switch over now to the this other screen. Oh, where is it? Which one? This one, I guess. Yeah, so again, let's just play this again. And when you watch it in real time without anybody pausing it for you, you tell me when he was spitting here. Go ahead. Just watch it at full speed. No, Gray, you got to slow it down. Well, right, when you slow it down, you can pretend that it was a longer period of time when the head turned. I mean, this guy must have been, like, practicing for the world record spit speed. Yeah. See, we've always said his head turns towards the girl. So if you notice, too, he's walking, right? And then about right here, he starts turning and he's heading in the direction of the girls. Isn't it more likely that that's what he's doing right there? Just that slight little turn, that his whole body is turning. His head isn't actually turning, his whole body is. Watch. See, one, and then right now he's going towards the camera. You see how that's totally different? Hey, Pebs W, what's going on? Bring new meaning to... Yeah. And see, and that's when it actually flips over and starts over again. So let me show you guys something. There's a lot of people that haven't seen this. So when you look at something like this, where you zoom way in, and let's go over here. I think it's actually better right in this there. Look how absolutely messed up half the frames look of the face. Like, that one's pretty good, right? Like, you can see the nose. I mean, it's absolutely blurry as hell. There's no detail on anything. You can see maybe where his eyes might be. You can see somewhat of a shape of a nose and maybe a mouth. The things that have always been interesting is like, what is this protruding? It's actually something protruding. But watch when you... Here, I'll go back to the beginning of a cycle. Okay, so right here. Look how blurry that one is. I could claim that to be anything. Well, that looks like an extraterrestrial, maybe a cyclops of some sort from a planet called Alpha Centauri. Looks like he's got a white, long beard with a really tiny mouth, one eye, it looks like, and kind of balding on the right-hand side of his head. Little bit like an alien, sure. Then we go to the next frame, and it looks very similar. Oh, wow! Now we have to realize he's a shapeshifter. I think we all need to look at the possibilities. If you ever at a park, anybody, look around for a shapeshifter. You just might find one. And if you see a shapeshifter, turn him into the Indiana State Police, because it might very well be the bridge guy. All right, here he goes, moving around. Oh my God, he doesn't have a face at all. It's just one color there. All right, now, this part over here is interesting. I've always thought that was like right here, like this shot here, it seems like you could always tell that maybe he had a goatee or something like that, and maybe that was a part of the goatee, like me. How it goes around like, oh wait, did you hear Gray? He said like me. Ooh ooh ooh. Watch this. Here we go. Hey guys, down the hill. Oh my God, did you hear that? It sounded exactly the same. He's got to be the guy. Let's do it again. Hey guys, down the hill. Holy crap! Holy moly! All right, here we go. So if we go through this, it's just unbelievable. All right, there it is. And then he's swaying, because that's how I put this together. So his body kind of rocks a little bit when he walks. And there you go. Then it starts over again. And actually, it looks the best when you play it all together, because you can get at least an idea. Somehow your eye is able to put things together. It's interesting. Oops. And then if we go down over here. Now this is one that I put together on the whole bridge. Now you probably heard me say in the video, like this was so close to being the exact spot. It just needed to be over another like 1.5 feet to the left and then down, and it would have been right on the money. I mean, it's absolutely insane. If I had the original program, I could delete this and you could see that these lines, see how they're, I know it's kind of small for you guys, but well, let me try to zoom in a little bit on that spot. And then go over there and see how there's people in the background. That's because that was a different day. All right. Now you see these lines, that line and that line and this line. I've actually got it where they're completely lined up, where it's like tree ring dating, I always call it. You can see that there's specific darker lines going across, and when the sun's out at about the right time of day, you can see it. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. What does that mean? Okay, tell me what you think. Send me an email or something. I don't know what that means. So, all right. So now that we got this, I'm zooming in a little bit. You can see it.
Down the hill. Guys. Down the hill.
Guys, down the hill.
Guys. Down the hill. Guys.
Oops. Yeah, and I know there's people out there that probably, I'm not sure if how many of you actually watch the show. And I mean, most of the people here watch my show every single night, but there's we had people, well, when I say we, way back in the day before it was even really I was kind of a YouTuber, but not really. I would just make videos to prove a point on something, and that was about it. But my friend Beth and a lady named Bonnie, they went out to the bridge for me, and they filmed a bunch of stuff. Like, I'd be on the phone, and we'd be looking for specific things, and we were able to find out exactly where all the different images were filmed from, every single bit of it. So nowadays, everybody talks about it like it's just common knowledge, but nobody knew that stuff. And we took it upon ourselves to figure out exactly where every single known element was, just to have it make sense. And it makes a ton of sense. And the thing is I've got footage from out there that I've shown before, but I don't know if you guys are interested in looking at it, but you can see kind of what the scale and what it would actually look like and why it's so grainy. Because the person that was filming, I believe, used the same type of camera as well. What's the question? Fishing in the dark. Hey, thanks, Candalee Woodward Stone. Oh, and there was one thing I was going to say. I talked to Robert Ives today on the phone. He was driving his mom around, and he didn't really have it. It ended quickly because he had to go do something. But I mean, we talked for a while, and then he goes, "Oh, I got to go," because he was waiting for something. So the thing is, it was interesting, right? Because he reaffirmed the information.
Dizzy face, dizzy.
What? Sorry I'm late. Was at an auction. Okay. What's the question by fishing in the dark? I don't know what it is. He's a spitter. He spits. Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean. You've typed that in a couple times. Why aren't we looking at the mysterious man from Vegas? What do you mean? We've looked at that. We don't know who the person is. Fishing in the dark. How would we find some random person that all you referred to him as this guy that sells good dope? That's all we know. All right. Oh yeah, but what he told me again was, so for those of you out there that don't know, yeah, the Kleins are 100%. I mean, I would say that it's 99.9% that it's the Kleins or somebody related to the Anthony Shots account. Even talking to Robert Ives, he said that would, because he hasn't been following the case that much. So I went over the information that was out there in those documents, and we both agreed that that would be an incredible coincidence if it's not related. So that was cool. He also talked about he was aware. I mean, he was part of the process when they went over to Kagan Klein's home originally, so he was aware of that stuff. But he told me that they were not able to make a connection at that time to the Abby and Libby case. I mean, a direct connection. Like, you have a couple of these, crazy instances where he deletes the phone and everything, but you're not able to prove stuff. You got to be able to prove something. So they weren't able to do that, and I think it was like when they took a new direction and started to get warrants and subpoena for information, that's when it made a dramatic turn the other direction. So he did tell me that. He also said that, let's see, what was it? That the first sketch, so I'm going to put this on the screen again. Yeah, so like these ones right here. Now, guys, isn't that weird how they give you like a... Come on, just make it the big one so it pops up. There you go. Okay, so right here, this was the original... Well, this is the first sketch that they let out, or put out, right? This one here was one of the first sketches drawn. I mean, it was the first sketch. It was like within 3 days, this one was created. So the notion that they put this one out because, you know, every once in a while I forget that part of it, and I'll say something like, yeah, well, maybe they put that sketch out because that's the son of this guy, but it turns out that they weren't really even aware of any of these people. And that, are you sure about that, Gray? Maybe it's just one big psyops. Okay, well, you go to another, you know, somebody else will probably sell that one. Yeah, so anyways, this sketch right here is kind of like what most people think the guy on the bridge kind of looks like, you know, like if you're just going to look at it. And he told me again, which is already out there, but I would, you know, you forget over time certain things. I've said this before, though, that this guy right here was completely derived from the video itself. Just looking at the video, they were like, okay, we think he looks like this. That's it. Isn't that amazing? Like, the way it was described to me today is there wasn't an element of, like there was a witness and we, you know, looking at the sketch, we're just kind of combining stuff. This one right here was from a witness, and they didn't put that out first because they all thought it looked more like this person. Isn't that wild? What are you talking about? Free thinker. So that's what the sketches are about. So early on, there was a witness that saw somebody that looked like this person, and that is the original sketch that was created, but it was the second one released. They put this one out, and they made it from looking at the sketch, which is weird, though, because when they released this sketch here, they said something about, remember how Kim Riley accidentally said woman? Like a woman came forward, you know, but I think he might have been like conflating it with this one right here. And this one right here, however, was created directly from just watching the video on their hands. So that was interesting. He wouldn't tell, you know, he's always good about never giving me any information about the crime scene. I was telling him about some of the crazy rumors that are out there and so forth, and he wouldn't elaborate on that. He's always good at that. He did say again that he thinks that law enforcement, well, it was weird too because he said it kind of how we were thinking about it. He goes, law enforcement, I've said many times, I think they could easily put out more information about the crime scene. But then he said, but however, if they're onto something right now with Kegan Kline and Tony, why would you put out any other extra information? They already are onto something. Now, if it turns out that didn't work, then maybe at that point they would put out more information. Well, thanks, Ray Ross. Appreciate it. So are any of you guys interested in seeing, you know, when we went out there and tried to reconstruct it on a very similar day, only about a month after the murders? It's pretty interesting. You know, you have other people running around doing it now, but they never do it quite the right time of year or the right way, you know. It's always frustrating to me. However, it was our work, especially Beth, because she was standing there. She made the observation that you can only see that white nodule next to the foot when you are down off the end of the bridge and low. And then I remember sending that over to Robert Ives, and I said, so based on what we're seeing here, it appears that Libby is standing off the end of the bridge, not on the bridge. Most people at the time thought she was standing on platform 6 and filming because it looked sort of similar. That tree is so far back there. You know, so it looked sort of similar. It was weird, but it turns out they were standing off the end of the bridge, and he goes, yes, assume that they were standing off the end of the bridge. So that boom, it was so cool to have validation right there. And then we, you know, just kept putting all the little pieces together. Then over time, kind of narrowed it down to where the killer's like 58 feet or so, 60, you know, let's say 55 to 60 feet from the end of the bridge. He's not as far away as it appears in there. And if we go by what they were telling us, is the video itself is 43 seconds long. So when we see him, he's probably got another 10 seconds to go. Then he gets to the end of the bridge, and that was all set at near the end. So interestingly, that would probably only take up maybe 10 or 15 of the seconds. Let's just say 15 to give it the most. Let's just even throw 20. So that means before that, there's 23 seconds of time where the camera's recording, but the killer's further away. So that might be an interesting thing that we can do right now, because that's actually something that there's enough footage here to be able to do that. So hold on. Okay, the high quality one. Is it this one? Yeah, and it's weird. Can you guys see that little white thing right there? It's still there right then. I mean, it's really small. I'd have to zoom in on it. But this right here even gives you an idea of, this is what it would look like on the camera that Libby was using. See how tiny the subject is back there? I mean, it's insane. Look at that. So they took that, cropped out Abby, who was way over here, and then just gave us this little tiny portion, and then zoomed in on it. So let me, like, or I'll get a different one out, the one that actually gets her into the right position here. Hold on. Feels so quiet. Oh yeah, let me get that playing again. I like that. So hold on. It's one of the longer ones. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. This is the good one. So we're going to zoom out, and that's the full video. So I think I was told in a conversation that it was landscape mode, but I don't know. You know, could have been this or not. It doesn't really matter. It's still tiny. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to fast forward until she's about where, so right here is about where the killer was. Except, so what she didn't do right here, she should have been another 2 feet over towards the middle. This camera needed to be about 3 feet to the left, but this is what it looked like out there. And so let's put her, I'm going to zoom in here, hold on. See, it's so fascinating here when you watch it like this. Watch this. And see back there, there's that white line that I was showing you guys back in this video. Watch. All right. Can you see back there, right there, that white line? And then there's a dark, dark. So it's white, dark, dark. Then you go over to here, and there it is. Like right back there is the white one, and she's walking just by the nodule. And well, it's actually white and then dark, dark. That's why the camera has to be, this one is pretty low right here. So, but I'm going to put her about at the spot. So let me go back to the other one. Okay. So you see right here how there's this dark line, and then it looks like it goes up. There's this little part that goes up right there. I think you can see that in this video. Yeah, it's right there. See? So about right in this area is actually where the killer is. Now I'm going to zoom out so you can get see how much law enforcement had. So that's what it looked like to them, right there. Okay? That's what the overall video would have looked like, but maybe rotated, maybe it was off angle. I mean, who really knows? But look how tiny that is. So now that we know how big the entire video is, watch when you zoom in to the image, and then you see when you crop it out, see how her detail on her face goes away? You can kind of see it. Well, it almost looks identical. Actually, it's amazing. Like the nose, the eyes. Now imagine putting a hat on that. You wouldn't be able to make out her face at all. Put a jacket on, you wouldn't be able to see that. And there you go. So right there, you can just absolutely see what we're dealing with here. And I'll zoom in again. And if you keep zooming in, like everybody likes to do, 1,000, you know, ooh, 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 you zoom in, it actually gets worse almost. But you see how there's absolutely no detail whatsoever on her face right now. And all you can see is like 2 maybe eye socket areas where it's dark and dark. Can't see her mouth at all. You see a little round bulbous, you know, place where her nose would be, her arms and everything. It's absolutely identical to some of this. Look at that right there. I mean, absolutely the same. So there you go, everybody. No, it's been enhanced, Ian. It's been enhanced 1,000. They know what they're doing. Okay, just trust me on that. They know what they're doing. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, they need to keep enhancing." Every time you enhance something, you're actually destroying something. What I would have done was take the original video, cropped out each frame, and did what I did and line every single frame up where you keep the bridge stable, and then just change the contrast a little bit. And maybe brighten it up, contrast. That changes the light and dark value of pixels. It doesn't start changing pixels and removing pixels. So that's what it looks like out there. Hold on, let me move this one over here. Yeah, this one here is very close to being in the right spot. See how it's in from this right spot, and then if you just moved over another 2 feet, you'd have it right in there. And again, it's so weird when we were looking at this, like, what is that white thing that's right here? See, it's right there, this little white thing, because that's right by his foot in all the images that are released before the video was. It's right by his foot, so we were always wondering what the hell that thing was. But it turns out that that one little spot right there is, let me get Bonnie's video. Her video is really good. Uh-oh. Ooh. God, I thought we were going to be frozen. Okay, that's not the one. Is it this one? Oh, that one has fisheye on it. Yeah, so look how cool these guys are. They actually filmed exactly the distance from where Abby was standing, and Libby was on that platform filming her in photograph that was at 207. It's like 13 feet or something. Alright, getting at the end. Is it this one? Oh, maybe it was the Melvin one that she made for me. There it is. Yeah, so this one's really clear too. This is one that Melvin put out there. So watch this right here. I'll show you where that little white nodule piece is. It's right. It's not quite there. See, that's platform 6 back there. Alright, right there. See that damaged side railroad tie right there? See, that's actually where that white nodule is, but he's past that. He's about right here, up in this area. And so if we just kept going here, you know, he's about, like, probably about where this camera is right here when he's walking off the end of the bridge. But right there is what makes it look like that white area right there. See? Just damaged side railroad ties. No, I haven't been. I live 2,500 miles away, so I can't make it out there. I always wished I had, because I would have done, you know, like over the phone, we were able to get better stuff than everybody that keeps going there over and over and over. They just, I don't know what the deal is. It's almost like it's just there to get a quick shot and pretend that they're doing something. You got to actually take the time and literally figure things out before you go there, or things you want to think about, things you need to film. I mean, I would have taken my drone and flown it right down, straight across the bridge slowly, hovering maybe 5 feet above it, and gone all the way down. Then I would have turned the drone around, done the same thing going back the other way. Then I would have flown up in the air and done it higher, like that. Then I would have probably flown from the end of the bridge up in the air, and then directly over the trees, over the crime, down into the river, and then film the crime scene, you know, going back and forth. I mean, there's just so many things that I would have done, but, you know, it's just 2,500 miles is a little too much. Yeah, and also, you know, yeah, crossing that bridge might have been, I'm not the best with heights myself, so. Yeah, they had such clear video on this one. Look at that. Yeah, it's that's the private drive right down there. So, anybody have any questions to look at right here? But mainly, what I just wanted to say for you, everybody out there, when you're watching YouTube videos, just demand. I'm not saying I'm perfect all the time on mine. I mean, I'm sure I could do better on some. So I just don't have as much time. I mean, it'd be great to spend 8 hours a day on one case for 3 months. You'd know it, just like I do Delphi. But I switch around and I do tons and tons of different cases. So, I tried my hardest to put out information that's factual. You know, sometimes I make a mistake with, the number of something or blah, 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 blah. I mean, everybody does. We're humans speaking. But it's when you put out stuff and you invent information because you know that you have a bunch of people that would just think it's so interesting. I would be so embarrassed to even think of or make a video similar to the one about the spitting. It's just so I'm just made a debunking video on it because it's so ludicrous to actually at the end of it get everybody so worked up that you're telling everybody that it is somebody that spits. The title even says it is somebody that spits. And then over to, like a habitual spitter, and then chastising the police for not noticing it, and they should have done more, and telling everybody out there to start looking for somebody who spits. I mean, my God, is that really what we've come to, people? That level of just god-awfulness? Wow. All right. Yeah. Going over the family members over and over and over again. See, there are cases where you do look at the family members, right? Like we just covered one where, and by the way, I did interview in the, I think it's the, hold on, let me make sure I got the right one. I've had so many cases lately that no, that's not the one. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, hold on, I gotta go look something up. Yeah, it could be somebody that knows the area, sure. Yeah, I was going to tell you guys something that was pretty interesting. But I have to find it now. My brain just went kapooey. Because I wasn't thinking about it. Oh yeah, there it is. All right, yeah, so I talked to, let's see, the younger sister of Ilanka Khan. Remember the case the other night where it was from 1970? Where, let's see, she was at 7:30 in the morning. The husband claims he saw her, then he went to work. And then he came home and then he found the kid crying. Their one son, who's actually Charles, what the hell is it? Yeah, that's right. Charles Khan. So there was Charles Khan the first, who is the father of another Charles Khan the second, who is the husband of Ilanka Khan, and they have a child, Charles Khan the third. I mean, it was the most ludicrously complicated, it just goes on and on and on. So anyways, when he came home from work, you remember how they he transferred the Charles Khan III to the grandparents' house. Well, it turns out when the Charles Khan IV, the two twins, were killed in the fire, that was a different set of grandparents. So that was something that we got figured out there. So it was a different set of grandparents, but in the same general area. Then she also told me that, let's see, I'm trying to remember the stuff that I can say. Yeah, it's crazy how many Charleses there were. Oh yeah, so you remember early on when we were going over those the PDF files from newspapers.com, it looked like there was an adoption made. Remember that? There was an adoption from a Charles Khan of Charles Khan III. And I was thinking, oh, wow. So maybe the new wife adopted. But, yeah, that didn't really make any sense because that's what she was telling me, because he's already the father, Charles Khan II. So why would he need to adopt anybody? Because it turns out that it was actually Charles Khan I adopted Charles Khan III, the 15-month-old child that was brought to the grandmother's after. So it's just bizarre, right? Why would that means he must not have given a shit about having his kid. Why wouldn't he want his own kid? It kind of tells you something. He didn't even want that kid. So Charles Khan Sr. is the one who adopted Charles Khan III. And man, that whole story, I mean, by the way, like we were just talking about, they were just there again looking on the property for the body of Ilanka Khan. They must have got some recent inside information. But anyways, I was talking to Anita, the younger sister of Ilanka Khan in that case. I think she said she was 14 at the time, and Ilanka was, what was it, 20, something like that, 20, 21. And I was talking to her. She doesn't remember any of those things, but she did say that Ilanka called and talked to the mother and was really scared of the father of her husband, which is Charles Khan I. Really scared of him, and she was trying to get out of there. And see, that's where motive starts coming in, because then it's like if she left, you'd owe alimony and child support from their family, right? But you get rid of them, now you just take care of Charles Khan III. I'm not sure what that means. Is this even interesting to you guys at all? I'm just trying to... You guys had to be following the story from the other night. Doesn't seem like anybody's even talking about it. And what was the other thing? I don't remember. That's something else I was going to say, but I forgot because I realized nobody was even... It's just weird. Yeah, well, I think the police know who it is. They just need the body. Because, I mean, if they find her body on that property, then an arrest will be made. Guess what, everybody? Charles Kahn, I believe, all of them are still alive. Like Charles Kahn the second, Charles Kahn the third are alive, and apparently, here, let me go to that spot. Yeah, so this is the property right here, and it was, what was it? Oh, that's the Con Road. Didn't we determine it was this house? Yeah, it was that house right there. But apparently the other son also lives in one of these homes right here. So now it's senior and second and the third, I think. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Remember how Alanka's father actually and cousin went out to capture? I mean, it's a really pretty wild, interesting story, right? So Alanka's father and cousin went out to capture Charles Kahn the first and the second, and they had already tied up. This is what she told me, that they'd already tied up Charles II and were going to start questioning him. And then he yelled out the window and alerted Charles Kahn the first, and then it never happened. Like, they never got to do the interrogation. And I told her, man, I go, man, you should be, you must be absolutely so proud of your father to have attempted that. And she goes, oh, yes. Yeah, and he passed away many years ago, but... I mean, how incredible is that? They know what happened. You know, like, they know what went down, and they went there to do their own justice to try to get answers, and it got stopped before they were able to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped charges even. The two Kahn parents. Well, that's just a different grandparent, Gloria. So, yeah, it's like Wrath of Khan. Yep. Yeah, that'd be cool. Anyways, it was an interesting conversation. She didn't really want to come on the show now because they're right in the middle of searching over there. She doesn't want to interrupt anything, but maybe I said I'd call her in a month or so, see what she says. All right. Okay. Hey, thanks, Scott Holland. Appreciate it. And thanks for supporting everybody for supporting the channel. You know, the month hasn't started off that great, but you never know, right? You never know. It might turn around at some point. But I appreciate everybody's support that's able to do it. If you send in, I'm ordering more. I got more notebooks in the mail. I'm sending 10 of them out tomorrow. I've already got it all filled out. So if you guys want one of the notebooks, you send a PayPal For 25, you get the notebook, and you get into the spin too. Maybe you could win 2 notebooks, or maybe a mug, or if we ever get to that point again, that'd be great. So thank you very much. When you help out my channel, everybody always makes fun of it. Like this idiot YouTuber, he's like, he words it differently than the way I do it. A different one. See what we do here is, and I encourage everybody, if you want to donate to charities, you go out and donate to charities. If you want to help support my channel, you help support my channel, and I take a large portion of the income and send it to charities. So at the same time, we're doing charities from the income from the channel, and you're helping support the channel so that I can continue to do shows 7 days a week, 3 hours a day. That's it. All right. And to be honest, the part that I don't like is where during the show I have to sort of try to do the portion where I'm saying, hey everybody, don't forget to help support the channel, you know, because I never used to have to do that, but it seems like now it's weird. It's I don't like the feeling, you know, it doesn't feel good. So I just want it to be natural. Hey, True Crime Recliner, I was just reading your book on the toilet the other day. Yeah. Well, thanks, Titanican. Yeah. It's like the perfect toilet, you know, I don't spend much time in there, but, you know, just for that minute. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, I don't want to, it sucks saying it, but the problem has been lately, if I'm not on the channel trying to encourage, you know, the super chats and whatnot, they don't show up as much, and then it really struggles. So it's got to be in your own minds, you know. Well, that's what they say. That's what they say. Scott Holland. All right, you know, you guys remember that were you following the news yesterday with that lady with the tractor trailer situation? You know, they've actually located her. Well, that's not the one I was looking at. Where'd that come from? That was weird. Huh. Yeah, so it was like a mystery as bloodied woman in her 20s is seen screaming for help inside a cab. And I don't know where they got this shot from, but then here's the video over here. You can kind of... There's a cab right there, and then this guy went over to see if she needed help. I guess it's right there. And it pulls over, and then this guy walks over, coming up here. Yeah, right here. To go get some help, or help her, and then it zips away. What case is that one? I don't know that one. So here is the police situation with bloody woman calling for help from inside the truck was a misunderstanding.
And screaming for help from a tractor trailer cab. In a matter of 26 hours, detectives pieced together the case, finding that white truck, plus the woman in distress and the driver inside. News 12 New Jersey's Chris Keating live tonight with some late-breaking developments from authorities. Chris?
Kirk, good evening. Well, this story has changed dramatically in just the last hour. It turns out this was all an accident and complete misunderstanding. We've gotten that word from South Brunswick detectives tonight. They
Oh,
tell
was
us
it
that
really?
inside of that truck cab we
It's
told
not
you
an
about out
abduction.
here at 1:30 yesterday was a husband and wife.
Yeah.
At the time, the wife was standing up inside of the cab as her husband was turning sharply onto Route 130. That's where we are. Well, as he made that turn, she fell and hit her head and started bleeding.
That's what they
That's
say,
all.
right?
There was no abduction, no domestic violence. At 7:30 tonight, the Volvo tractor-trailer cab at the center of this case was towed into the South Brunswick Police Department. On the side of the cab belonging
Well, we don't
to
know,
KS Logistics,
'cause we weren't there
there was
to
a
watch
small
what
amount
was going
of
on.
blood splatter. Police explained this all came together this evening.
At about 5:10 this evening, we made contact with all the individuals involved.
Both were located at their home in the Island section of Woodbridge. After questioning from detectives, we have learned that the truck pulled over because the wife was injured and in a panic. The witness misunderstood what
why did he pull away when the guy was
Police
running
say
over
the husband
there?
pulled his wife back into the cab and
sped
sped off
away?
in order to get her help. They actually went to a Rite Aid for bandages,
Oh.
which police confirmed.
Oh.
The couple had
Well, there you go. That kind of proved their story. They went right to a Rite Aid, and they saw him on camera go in there and get the Band-Aids for her. So I think that really does help out their story. Okay. So, I mean, you can go, well, maybe he just... Well, come on. I mean, if it was really a violent situation, do you think he would have gone to Rite Aid and got Band-Aids right away? Like, that's where he went next? So, could it possibly be that for whatever reason, this time, it really is what they were saying? What do you guys think? Doesn't it help the reality of the story now that you hear that they went right to a Rite Aid to get some Band-Aids? Yeah, you definitely have to hear the whole thing. No, I think it makes it much more in the favor of he did exactly what was said, that the fact that they got Band-Aids. It's not either way at this point, Amber. It's not like, now it's like 90% that nothing. No, that's just what the guy said. The guy there just assumed that. And maybe she was screaming that because maybe she felt like she was going to get flung out the window or something. Oh, right. Yeah, right. He went to the store to get bandages to be seen on camera. Oh, God. Jesus. He was that cunning. Ooh. I've got to run to the store to get Band-Aids to make it look like I cared. Yeah, we'll see. You never know, right? I would give it like, I'd weight it in favor of it being exactly that it was a misunderstanding in this case. But at first when I was hearing it just now, because I haven't listened to it yet, I was thinking, oh wow, that sounds like she's just making up a story for him. I mean, I guess, I don't know. If I want to do what Amber's saying, and I could go that he went through he just, I don't know why he'd go to the store, though. Maybe as the classic, like he hit her, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm sorry, hey, goes gets the Band-Aid, right? The classic scenario. Yeah, well, people are just assuming that she was screaming for help. Well, maybe, we don't know exactly how she got hurt, and we're just hearing from that one person who thinks he heard that. Yeah, the whole remorse thing, but it seems like he sped off really quick and went directly to a Rite Aid, and they have him on camera, it sounds like. Yeah, lots of maybe this, maybe that. Don't you think, though, that it was a pretty big story, that they would have really looked into it and investigated it and just kind of observed and been aware of? Yeah, well, maybe she was hurt or something and freaked out.
Trailer cab in a matter of authorities. Chris?
Kirk, good evening. Well, this story has changed dramatically in just the last hour. It turns out this was all an accident and complete misunderstanding. We've gotten that word from South Brunswick detectives tonight. They tell us that inside of that truck cab we told you about out here at 1:30 yesterday was a husband and wife. at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird. Like, you know, all it says now is she was standing up and fell and hit her head. So then why would that one guy be going over there, I guess? You might ask yourself. She must have said something out loud where he heard it. And how would he hear that? The video matches a little bit, though. It looks like it comes around the corner, and then it sort of starts slowing down, and then rushes off. But I don't know, would you really like rush off that quick to go get Band-Aids? Like, oh my God, let's go get Band-Aids. Or, you know, it almost seems like you'd rush off that quick if something bad happened, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's just one of those things. We're not going to get to know the answer. We could spend all day trying to guess and sleuth it out and try to pretend we know more than the cops do. And oh yeah, so now it's all the same. It's all like Brian and Gabby. Yep, everything's the same. Jeez. These are the detectives, not the. You know, they tracked it all down, got the surveillance footage, everything. You know, maybe she is making excuses. You know, covering for her abuser husband, right? I guess we're not going to get to know. Maybe there'll be future stories on it. Yeah. Sometimes we need to just kind of listen to what they come up with instead of continuing to sleuth it out like we know better every single time. Yeah. Yep, just not enough. We're not going to be able to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, she could be making excuses. We already know that one, Zozo. We all talk about that all the time, that abusers... I just even said it a second ago, that a lot of times they make up a story to help out their abuser because they don't want to lose they're trapped. They're the ones that bring in the money and so forth, and they don't have any. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other things. We just don't know, you know. Right. So hopefully, if something else comes forward, I mean, I'd like to hear the guy that heard the yelling and see if he might go, well, you know, I wasn't sure if she was screaming help. It seemed like she was more like, stop, stop, you know, like, what if she was yelling, stop, stop, and it seems like, wow, is she screaming for someone to stop hitting her? But she's screaming for him to stop the car. I mean, the cab, right? And then he pulls over and he sees her bleeding. He goes, "Oh, come on, let's go." You know, who knows? Well, I still think Gabby would hit him all the time, Zozo. I haven't changed my mind on that one. Yeah. Now you always keep saying the same thing every single time, and you can tell that she's somebody that had emotional problems, and I bet you hit Brian often herself. I do. I think she did hit him. You know, doesn't change the scenario. It doesn't mean that like all of a sudden he gets to kill somebody. But I think that when she would get angry, she'd hit him, and he'd probably hit her. And you know, I don't think that was a whole made-up story when they pulled over there. I don't agree with the obsession. You know, the observations that people made. Like a lot of like the super sleuths out there that have been in other situations. I mean, you have to sort of people who have been in domestic violence situations probably have a better overall. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but like they understand how certain situations can be, and when they see something a certain way. But at the same time, she seemed like she was, you know, just watching the video. It wasn't like she was sitting there just, oh, I better say the right thing. I got to say the right thing. It seemed like, you know, you know what? I always hate talking about this topic because it doesn't matter what I say. If it doesn't fit the exact narrative that a certain group of people want to hear, then you sound shitty to them. And I'm just not going to do it. Yeah, it's okay. All right. And I'm not saying like Gabby was an abuser. I just think that she would probably hit him sometimes, you know? And maybe it was a good reason she hit him. Who knows what the reason was? But I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, I was there. I know all the facts. I got it all figured out. And yeah, and so in this case right here, to jump all the way to it's some crazy violent assault and the woman's just making up a story. I mean, that was my first thought. But once I heard, oh, wow, so the police think it was just a misunderstanding. They went and they looked really into it. I mean, it was pretty, like they went and tracked it all down, got all the information, followed it up, went and saw them on the camera, probably talked to them and went, oh, geez, wow. Sometimes it really isn't what people want to think it is. I mean, is it possible? I mean, let me ask you guys something. Is it even possible for some of you that this wasn't a domestic violence situation right here? Yeah, it could be, but are you? So you're saying it's not possible that this really was an accident here? Yeah. Hopefully that's followed up on. I mean, I actually think it's like, I guess I'd have to say it's like 50-50, like Amber was saying. Now that we've talked about it, I don't know. Yeah. But a minute ago, I thought it really adds to it that they went straight to a Rite Aid and got Band-Aids and everything. And they're probably like, what? Why are people chasing us around? What's going on? And it just looks a certain way. I would say most of the time it is going to be a situation, it's either somebody being abducted or an assault or something like that. Not that have been in extremely abusive relationships and lashed out, reacted physically at times. I think it's called reactive abuse, yeah. Right, it's always something on the other side. Wouldn't the guy also be able to say his was reactive abuse too? Let's just call it is what it is, right? If you hit somebody, it's not good, right? But what if there was no sexual assault or anything like that? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. If you're being sexually assaulted, of course you're going to lash out and punch, I mean, that just, that's obvious. That's not even related to what we're talking about. Why is that, Rainbow Zen Kitty? Jeez. How long have I been on here? Hour and 24. Yeah, I mean, the thing is I guess a lot of, like, someone like me, I guess I have to always defer to all the experts out there that have had situations where they've been in domestic violence situations. But, the Gabby Petito one, I always thought, like, God, I mean, she wasn't like somebody that was really that, like, nice, as it appeared on the videos, on some of them. You could just tell, well, even on some of the videos, the way she would look at him when he'd say something, when he was pretending to be, like, he was a poser, vegan, sort of, whatever you want to call him. He was just a total poser. And it was just like, it just seemed like they didn't really like each other. It was just a nightmare situation, that whole relationship. It was two people that should never even have been together, and it just, the whole thing sucked. Okay? But what I did say before was that it would be cool in certain situations to always have like an expert of domestic violence that is brought onto scenes where there's a question, and they get separated from the, you bring the husband somewhere and the wife somewhere, and you talk to them privately and try to get a read on the situation. Because it seems like sometimes police, like in the Gabby Petito case, they were just kind of, they didn't have an expert or somebody to say, hey, she might be saying this to protect him, and so far what we have is she admits to hitting him, and he's saying she hit him, and now she is the one that is in trouble. So the whole scenario sucked for the cops. But maybe if there's somebody that's there to override the situation, like an expert of some sort, and say, hey, no, I don't think so, and then really get, taking Gabby off to the side and talk to her, maybe that would have worked. Yeah. Here's the thing is, I'm just going to relegate myself to where people can call in and do their shows and videos. Not show, where people can call in. I'm not sure why I said shows and videos. I was thinking of something else. Where people call in and they tell their stories, and I'll put the video out there for people and interview them. But I'm definitely not an expert or anything, and neither are almost any of you in there on domestic violence and stuff like that. So it's kind of one of those things where we talk about it. Some people are overboard one direction, some people are overboard the other direction, and it always gets really frustrating, and everybody always gets angry at everybody because it doesn't match what they think and what they believe is going on, and it really it's a shitty topic. It's almost like talking about abortion or something. I don't know why it's like that, but unless you're all exactly on the same page, it makes somebody else angry. Oh, really? That sucks, Titanican. Yeah. And thank you, Jan Allison, on PayPal. All right, I'm gonna go over this other story now. I don't know what's next, Jennifer. I mean, the problem is I can tell we're in one of those shitty lull things, so I'd almost want to save the story for tomorrow or something. It's been another crazy night. Maybe I need to throw myself into prison for being so uncaring. Thanks, Eugenie. Except I feel like I would languish in there for hours. Oh yeah, I'm sending all of your guys' notebooks off tomorrow. For sure. Don't stop. I don't know, man. Thanks, Amber. Alright. Yeah, so this one, it's a recent one, so maybe it won't be as boring, but there's an element that's old, okay?
I'll be back if you want me to.
And I think this guy's face that's coming up, Zozo should have plenty of things to say about it. And I might even have to add it to the, I might switch it out, maybe for that newer guy. Do you guys like the new guy that looks kind of weird, the Santa Claus kind of guy? Or, should I get rid of the one from before, that weird kind of troll-looking guy with the ears that stick out? Hey, well, it's good to see you, Lisa Wilkerson. 19 months as an Oogla Boogla freak. No, I don't even remember what I asked. Oh yeah. Body of missing Levelland woman found in Abilene. Death considered suspicious. So this is back in, the whole thing is from April 16th, 2018. The body of a missing 20-year-old Levelland woman was found in North Abilene, and police are investigating it as a suspicious death. Jeannie Quinn had been reported missing on Sunday. Abilene police said in a news release Wednesday. A resident located Quinn's body about 6 p.m. Tuesday in the vicinity of North 10th and Marigold Street. And that's right here. This is in Texas. And they said there's North 14th Street and that says Arnold. Hold on, let me get the that article. I think I changed at some point. The city of North 10th and Marigold Street. Okay, there's North 10th. Well, where's Marigold? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's right here. It's interesting. Why does it say... It says Marigold and North 10th is right there. Except that's North 10th, so where's Marigold? That's 14th, and this is Arnold Boulevard. So, anyways... let me try Marigold Street. Oh, I guess so. That's what this is right here. So somewhere right around in this area, these woods or these woods, something like that. Due to the nature of where the body was located and other circumstances, detectives are working this as a suspicious death, the news release said. Next of kin were notified after the body of the female was positively identified as Quinn, police said. The case remains an active death investigation at this time, according to police. KTXS will provide additional details as they become available. So that's who this is, KTXS 12. All the links are in the description. And then on the same day here, I was just reading, Jen H said, she's been using the notebook. Cool. It's her favorite notebook. All right, there you go. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. A little stressed out at times, I guess. All right. So, the Abilene Police Department is investigating a suspicious death of a woman reported missing from the Levelland home, whose body was found in Abilene. Jeannie Quinn, 20, was found at about 6 p.m. Tuesday in the general location of North 10th and Marigold Street in far northwest Abilene by a resident. Well, thanks, Jen H. Let's see. Quinn was reported missing on Sunday and was last seen in the Abilene area. Due to the nature of where the body was located and other circumstances, detectives are working the case as a suspicious death, police say. Well, just, hey, Jen, just send me an email whenever you fill up your notebook, all right? That's all you got to do. We'll just keep you loaded up on them. She's journaling in them. That's a worthy cause. The APD is working with the agencies in the investigation. So she was reported missing Sunday and was last seen in Abilene. Due to the nature of where the body was located and other circumstances, detectives are working the case as a suspicious death. So this is just back, we're just going back in time here. So that was April 18th. Then on May 30th, another article here. The Abilene Police Department seized 2 phones in mid-April as part of a murder investigation where a woman's body was found in North Abilene. According to the search warrant, Jeannie Caitlin Noel Quinn, 20, was found on private property in North Abilene on April 17th, where authorities determined the manner of her death to be suspicious. The Abilene Police Department found out that Quinn had been reported missing out of Levelland, Texas. The Hockley County Sheriff's Office told the Abilene Police Department that Quinn was last seen by her boyfriend and that he was said to have been seen in Abilene with Quinn just 2 days before her body was found by authorities. Hey, thanks, man. On April 18th, the Abilene Police Department interviewed Quinn's boyfriend. So they're interviewing Quinn's boyfriend, and he said that they left from Levelland on April 14th, went to Brady to visit some friends, and then stayed in Brownwood. Quinn's boyfriend also stated that they came to Abilene. So just remember that the boyfriend's an interesting part of the story, obviously. Quinn's boyfriend also stated that they came to Abilene and got into an argument. Quinn's boyfriend said that she left in his truck and that he waited for Quinn for about an hour before calling her phone several times and leaving her a voicemail. So let's see. Quinn's boyfriend said that she left in his truck and that he waited for Quinn. So he's waiting for his girlfriend for about an hour before calling her phone several times and leaving her a voicemail. That's really kind of like specific information there, you know. Quinn's boyfriend told the Abilene, hey, thank you very much, Titanic. Quinn's boyfriend told the Abilene Police Department that he continued calling Quinn for days after she disappeared, but that she never answered him. So he stopped trying to contact her. Quinn's boyfriend also allowed the Abilene Police Department to search his phone during their interview. Well, you have to win the spin, or go to Teespring. Let's see. I think there's like a... Let me see something. Does this one work if I type in links? Does that do something? There you go. There's the link tree right there. You can check on there. There's a bunch of stuff. That's one that Beholder made for me. Thank you, Tina. So Quinn's boyfriend also allowed the Abilene Police Department to search his phone during their interview, and they found several calls that he made to another person on the day of the argument. The person Quinn's boyfriend called was the person who picked him up after he was left to walk from Abilene to Snyder and drove him back to Levelland, Texas. Let's see. So Quinn's boyfriend stated that he and his friend borrowed a car in Levelland on April 16th and drove back to Abilene to try to find Quinn, but once they did not find her, they decided to return to Levelland. I don't know, it's probably that was the car they used to put her body over there. The Abilene Police Department was able to confirm that Quinn's boyfriend was picked up by a friend that drove him back to Levelland. The Abilene Police Department states that they believe that the data from Quinn's boyfriend's phone will help out with the investigation into Quinn's death and could put him at the scene. Alright, so that was May 30th. And then, well, here's the thing is, where did they say he was from? Levelland? So I actually have his house. He lived right here. I think it was in this one right there. And what's the name of this town? Yeah, Levelland. See, there you go. Yeah. And that's 100 miles away from where her body was found. So now we're on to June 26th right here. Abilene Police Chief Standridge said the death of Jeannie Quinn, found hanging on April 18th, has officially been ruled a homicide. Police are also investigating the disappearance of Patricia Smith Ford, reported missing on September 8, 2016, based on a tip placed last week by a caller. Concerning Quinn, Standard said the department has a person of interest but are waiting for lab results. Quinn, 20, who was originally reported missing from Levelland on April 15th, was found at about 6 p.m. April 17th in the general location of North 10th and Marigold Street in far northwest Abilene by a resident. So, it's just an update there. It wasn't really tons. Now we're going to the next day in the paper. Yeah, so now we get some details. A woman found dead in Abilene in April. This girl right here, Jeannie Quinn. A woman found dead in Abilene in April had a hard wire twisted around her neck and white bags tied around both of her hands, according to an autopsy report. Makes you kind of wonder what took them so long to rule it a homicide, though, right? 20-year-old Jeannie Quinn's body was found on April 17th in a field near Arnold Boulevard and Marigold Street in Abilene. Quinn had been reported missing from Levelland just days before her body was discovered. The Abilene Police Department initially called Quinn's death suspicious, but they later ruled it a homicide. The autopsy report states that Quinn's death was a staged hanging. According to the autopsy report, Quinn died from asphyxiation. Now, what's this one say? This one's May 30th. Did we already do this one? Quinn's boyfriend told the Abilene Department that he continued calling. Yeah, I think we did that. All right, and then this one's from November in newspapers.com here. So there we go. The Abilene Reporter. Abilene police set up tip line in hanging of young woman. The family of Levelland woman whose body was found hanging in Abilene is offering $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in her death. Jeannie Quinn, 20, was found April 17th in a field near Arnold Boulevard and Marigold Street with hard wire twisted around her neck, according to a GoFundMe page set up by a family to raise more reward money. The account was created November 4th, and the goal is $20,000. Any amount raised from the GoFundMe reward would be in addition to the $10,000 that I'm putting up, said John Quinn, Jeannie's uncle and godfather. Quinn was reported missing 2 days before her body was found. According to John Quinn, Jeannie has no ties to Abilene, but came to the city with her boyfriend. According to cell phone search warrant, court documents filed in district court in Abilene in May, the boyfriend told police that he and Quinn traveled from Levelland to Brady on April 14th to visit friends. Let's see where Brady is. Okay. It's a pretty long drive, actually. It's like 150 miles. That's a different case. So it'd be like here to here, and then she was found there. I wonder if she made it to the friend's house. According to cell phone search warrant, court documents filed in district court in May, the boyfriend told police that he and Quinn traveled from Levelland to Brady on April 14th. In Abilene, the two got into an argument. So now we got an argument put into this. In the 4,000 block... Oh, okay, so let's go to that. They got an argument in... Wow. It's somehow in this area, 4,000 North 1st Street. Oh, just right there. Jeez. So somewhere, maybe there's a bar here, you know? Argument. 4,000 North 1st Street. And look at that. That's where the argument was, and she's found right there. Alright, so in Abilene, the two got into an argument in the 4000 block of North 1st Street, and she left in his truck, the boyfriend told police. He waited for an hour for her to come back. That's total bullshit. To contact her cell phone, let's see, he waited for an hour to come back and tried to contact her cell phone via text and voice, the document stated. He then walked and hitchhiked from Abilene to Snyder. Okay, let's see where that is. I was going to say, I bet it's in the direction of his house. Yeah. So then he walked and hitchhiked to here, he claims. Alright. And actually, let me mark the... Yeah, they got an argument there. Then he walked and hitchhiked to there. Where a friend met him to drive him back to Levelland. Does that make any sense? Oh yeah, back to his house. Okay. The boyfriend returned to Abilene in a borrowed car for the day, April 16th, in an attempt to find Jeannie. Right, so he says he hitchhiked to here, and why would he do that and not just call the friend to pick him up in Abilene? Anyways, then he got a ride home to here on the 15th, or maybe early morning the 16th. Then on the 16th, he borrowed somebody's car from his home and then drove it back to Abilene over here, looking for her. But why would he go there? You want to ask yourself. If she had your truck, she could be anywhere. Why go to Abilene? She could have, that doesn't make any sense. He returned to Abilene on April, let's see, the boyfriend returned to Abilene in a borrowed car for the day, April 16th, in an attempt to find Jeannie. He returned to Abilene on April 18th in a borrowed truck and talked with police at the law enforcement center, the document stated. The search warrant filed by police April 19th pertained to searching the boyfriend's cell phone records. Who was Jeannie Quinn? Jeannie worked part-time in Levelland as a dog groomer. Jeannie was a gentle young lady. To all of us, she was a child. She was the sweetest girl who loved animals, art, photography. She was very gifted with art. Jeannie loved to laugh, and it was easy to make her laugh, Quinn said. So that was November 14th. Then on the 19th. Let's see, this is the 19th.
Good evening, everyone. The family of Jeannie Quinn is asking for your help tonight. She was brutally murdered in Abilene back in April.
And it's been 7 months without any answers or an arrest in this case. K-Texas reporter John Rapolo joins us now live from Abilene Police Headquarters with more. John?
Yeah, good evening. You know, Jeannie Quinn's family taking it upon themselves to find her killer. The murder of 20-year-old Jeannie Quinn remains unsolved. On April 17th, her body was found in a field not far from Arnold Boulevard and Marigold Street. Police say she had a hard wire twisted around her neck and white bags tied around both of her hands.
It's been very trying, very difficult for all of us. Especially the tragic way that it happened.
We spoke with John Quinn today via Facebook, Jeannie's uncle. Her family started this Facebook page a few days ago.
There has to be people out there that's heard something or seen something between here and Levelland.
Quinn had been reported missing from Levelland just days after her body was discovered. According to the autopsy report, her death was a staged hanging, and she died from asphyxiation. This statement from Abilene Police today, quote, "There is a person of interest."
We want closure. We want justice.
According to reports, Quinn was in Abilene with her boyfriend at the time of her death.
Now, let me go back to here.
We spoke with John Quinn today via Facebook, Jeannie's uncle. Her family started this Facebook page a few days ago.
There has to be people out there that's heard something or seen something between here and Levelland.
Quinn had been reported missing from Levelland just days after her body was discovered. According to the autopsy report, her death was a staged hanging, and she died from asphyxiation. This statement from Abilene Police today, quote, "There is a person of interest."
We want closure. We want justice.
According to reports, Quinn was in Abilene with her boyfriend at the time of her death, but police are not saying if he is that person of interest. Last week, the family posted a $10,000 reward to anyone who could help police solve her brutal murder.
To try to make sure that this story does not disappear and this case does not go cold.
All right, well, the family is planning a press conference here in Abilene next month to get some answers, also to put pressure.
Yeah. So let's see, we got the, there's another article around that same time. Abilene Police set up tip line. I think we already got that one. And then we've got June. Where were we at? June. Oh, I know what happened. The damn thing got flipped over. Okay. So that was the, what day was this one? November 19th, 2018. Okay. There it is. Wow, this is crazy. It just sort of November 19th, 2018. Oh, there it is. All right, now we're going to December 19th, 1993. Now it starts getting really crazy, you guys. I mean, now it starts turning into serial killer, crazy shit. I couldn't believe it. Because I just found this case random, I mean, on that one website, and I was just looking hers up. So a man named as a person of interest in the murder of 20-year-old Jeannie Quinn in April 2018 is also a person of interest in a missing person case from 1993. Well, who do you think that is, everybody?
Chewbacca?
Thanks, Freebird Forever!
I have to go
Appreciate
on
it.
mode later. It's my B-day, but wanted to drop in for a
Oh,
second to
well,
send
hold
some
on.
love. Thank you, Gray, Mods and Freak family, for all that you do every day.
No, you're not going to get the hell out of here without Mary Lou singing your birthday, right, Mary Lou?
What the hell are you talking about, Gray J?
Well, you got to sing happy birthday, all right, for Freebird Forever, okay?
I don't want to, Gray. I'm done.
No, you're going to sing it right now.
Okay, God, yay.
Oh, my God. Anybody else sick of Mary Lou? Wow. Anyways, get going.
Okay, Gray. Happy birthday to Freebird Forever. Happy birthday to Freebird Forever. Happy birthday to Freebird Forever. Happy birthday to you.
Wow, Mary Lou. Have you been smoking again?
Yes, I have, Gray. The low-cal cigarettes with Retsin.
Oh, my God. Even the one with Retsin. No, you know, at least you got the one with Retsin in it, okay? But anyways, happy birthday, Freebird Forever, and thank you, Mary Lou.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
No, they weren't cheering for you, Mary Lou. They were just actually thanking you that you got the hell off the mic.
Gosh, Gray, that isn't very nice. You're so mean.
That's what they say, Mary Lou. That's what they say. Yeah, wow. So, anyways, happy birthday. And hope you like that one, Freebird Forever. I know Mary Lou really tried her best to get that song in for you. Hey.
You still there, Gray?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm looking for John Boy. Where the hell is he? He was supposed to say something at the end.
And many more.
Gosh, John Boy, that's so late.
All right, there you go. I had to get that in there for you, Freebird Forever. You really wanted John Boy in there. All right. That was pretty funny. Okay, see you later. So anyways, this case gets really crazy now, everybody. In 2005, KCBD reported the DPS website Project Find Me raised new questions about open missing cases on the South Plains, one involving the disappearance of Stephanie Meeks Henderson. That's her right there. And before I get back to this, I thought this was sort of interesting. Again, I just looked up her name, and I think this is her based on the location and everything. I mean, it was right, same name. So if it's not the right one, I apologize. But it says 4 adults are facing felony criminal charges, and a 16-year-old girl is being detained in connection with the robbery of a 20-year-old San Angelo man under a bridge in Dry Creek Park. And then it says right here, Randy Dean Sutton, Kenneth Griffin, and then Miss Stephanie Meeks here, because she ended up having the last name of Henderson after she got married to the person who's a suspect in her disappearance. So I think that's her, because it's 17 years old, 1989, and she went missing when she was 21 in 93. And it's not really a common name. And then there was another one in here also saying Stephanie Shea Meeks, 17, forgery. And so if it's a different Stephanie Meeks, the reason I think it's the same one is look how Stephanie's spelled there. You don't see that very often at all. I mean, Stephane, right? Normally there's an I there, and her name doesn't have that, and so that's why I'm really confident that that's her based on the age. So I don't know if she had sort of a, what was going on with her or anything like that. And then here was a Facebook post on that case. Let me see. It just says the Texas Department of Public is asking for public help in solving the 1993 disappearance of a woman now connected to a brutal and vicious murder in Abilene. They have also doubled the reward of $6,000 for information that leads to an arrest. After an argument, okay, so this says Stephanie Meeks Henderson was 21 years old when she went missing from her home in Levelland, Texas. So that is the home. And what's crazy is I went up and found where she lived because it was still been verified. And you went up here and look how, let me just show you something that's crazy is, so Ricky had an address that was here. And he also had an address that was right here. And then Stephanie and Ricky had an address right there. I mean, I just think it was misprinted, but it was like one digit off. So I think Stephanie and Ricky lived together. There's a guy named Ricky Henderson. And guess who Ricky Henderson is, everybody? Take a guess who Ricky Henderson is. And Ricky Henderson is Jeannie Quinn's boyfriend in 2018. So here we got another one of those cases where a boyfriend has another disappearance or murder. Remember the case we just covered a while ago where it had 3 women that were all dating one guy that all have gone missing and haven't been found? Oh, jeez. Wow. What the heck was that? Anyways, so Stephanie Meeks Henderson, she was the wife of Ricky Henderson, no relation to the baseball player, and she went missing in 1993, just off the face of the earth. Yeah, well, look, let's wait till we get to it, Zozo. All right, we haven't got to it yet. All right, so anyways, we got the right here. This is her high school picture. I was able to find it on the website, and then this is her when she got married. I couldn't find the marriage certificate, but I knew that would be a face that you would want something to comment about. I was thinking of changing one of the faces we've got for his. That's actually pretty funny, though. His face was on fire, and somebody tried to put it out with a hammer. Okay, that one's pretty good. But I have to give you credit for that one. Yeah. I just haven't put the guy's face up on the screen yet. It is on the thumbnail, though. Alright, so they got married, Stephanie Meeks and Ricky Henderson, on July 10th, 1992. So not long before, literally like a year, 15 months later, she's killed. Alright? Or disappeared. I'm sure she's dead, though. So in this article here, again, it says, Stephanie Meeks Henderson was 21 when she went missing from her home in Levelland, Texas, in November of 1993. After an argument with her husband. Boy, doesn't that sound familiar? The argument, remember, with Jeannie Quinn, and then she went missing, but then she was found hanging? I wonder if would have been found hanging somewhere. After an argument with her husband, Ricky Don Henderson, she called her grandmother in San Angelo. And guess what? San Angelo is the town that those two crimes were committed in. So that's even more verification that that was her. Her grandmother made the 3-hour trip to Levelland, but when she got there, Stephanie was gone. So, Ricky didn't want the grandmother to know the story, so he had to take her out, right? And she was going to leave him. So her grandmother made the 3-hour trip to Levelland, but when she got there, Stephanie was gone. Ricky claimed she was picked up by some girlfriends from Hobbs, New Mexico. According to several missing persons websites, Stephanie left all the personal belongings, including her purse and only pair of shoes, behind. So missing persons website, Stephanie left all of her personal belongings, including her purse, and so she didn't even have her shoes on or anything. Her disappearance was not reported for several weeks because Stephanie's family believed she was staying with friends in New Mexico. But that changed when Stephanie's grandmother, listen to this crazy crap right here, she got a letter in the mail, Stephanie's grandmother did, supposedly typed by Stephanie. It said she was now living in Hobbs. However, the letter was postmarked Lubbock, which made the grandmother suspicious. Investigators interviewed the friends who supposedly took Stephanie to Hobbs. They all said they did not pick her up. In 2004, police tested a strand of Stephanie's hair against the saliva on the envelope. The DNA was male. Ricky has never been charged, and the case remains unsolved. Stephanie would be 46 years old today. To be eligible for the cash reward, individuals also can submit information through the Texas Rangers. So anyway, that's how he definitely. Well, let's see. What was the situation on this one? I thought he's actually waiting trial on this case right here. All right, so now we're back to Levelland woman homicide investigation sheds light. Okay, now we're on in January 2019, and there he is, bucket face, with his. No, he doesn't look like you at all. This guy doesn't look like you at all. The guy that looks like you is the emoji. I'm just kidding. He doesn't look like you. Yeah, that's not really the clearest picture of him. We'll get better ones later. Oh yeah, no, I was going to go back to this one right here. So look at that. So something happened to him when he was younger, because something's wrong with that same side of his face over here in that picture. So Stephanie Meeks Henderson of Levelland has been missing in the missing person database for 25 years. Stephanie Meeks Henderson, Rick Don Henderson on the wedding day. So that's what they look like on that date that I gave you about the wedding. Stephanie was last seen. Oh, here we go, everybody. I mean, don't I need to put that one on there instead? Wow. Stephanie was last seen in Levelland, Texas on November 28, 1993. She had an argument with her husband, Ricky Don Henderson, That day, Stephanie called her grandmother to say she was leaving. Her grandmother went to Stephanie's home, but by the time she got there, Stephanie was already gone. You know, I'm wondering how he was able to. He must have been a smooth talker, I'll tell you. Rick Don Henderson, 56. So guess what? He was dating her, and she's like 20. He's 56, and she was 20. How'd that even come about? Like, she's pretty, and this guy, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. Ricky claims she was, and I'm not just saying that. I mean, he's obviously not a good person. But, like I said, he must be a real charmer. Ricky claims she was picked up by some female friends from Hobbs, New Mexico. Stephanie left all her personal belongings, including her purse and her only pair of shoes, behind at her home when she vanished. Her disappearance was not reported for several weeks because her family believes she was staying with her friends in New Mexico. Then Stephanie's grandmother received a typed letter, supposedly from Stephanie, which stated she was living in Hobbs. However, the letter was postmarked Lubbock, Texas, and when Stephanie's grandmother noticed this, she became suspicious and contacted police. Foul play is suspected in Stephanie's disappearance. Investigators interviewed the friends who supposedly took her to Hobbs, and they all said they did not pick her up. In 2004, police tested a hair on Stephanie's against the saliva on the envelope flap of the letter that was next to the grandmother. The saliva was not Stephanie's. Well, they just need to get the envelope again and get the DNA off of it now. 2004 is basically Fred Flintstones and a Lamborghini. You know, like, it's 2004 DNA technology compared to now is a joke. It's not even close. Nothing in terms of gathering it, collecting it, and the technology they have to remove DNA from something. In May 2018, Hockley County Sheriff Ray Skiffers confirmed 2 people were being investigated in connection with the murder of a Levelland woman. 2 people. Huh? Jeannie Caitlin Quinn's body was found on private property in Abilene. An autopsy revealed her body was found with a hard wire twisted around her neck and white bags around both of her hands. The autopsy report calls her death a staged hanging and says Quinn died of asphyxiation. So they probably strangled her to death and then put her up there to hide the fact that she was strangled. You know, make it look like the rope is what strangled her, but she was already dead prior to that. The Abilene Police Department seized 2 phones in mid-April as part of the murder investigation. Officials say Quinn was last... Hey, Dennis, you look a lot better than that guy does, okay? And I'm a guy. I'm even a guy telling you that, all right? I'm not attracted to you whatsoever, Dennis, but I am telling you that you do look better than the guy... And you might ask yourself, well, who doesn't? You know. Well, the bag's on your hand. Maybe that would keep somebody from being able to grab and get yourself off. You know, like untie a knot or something. He told detectives with the Abilene police he continued calling Quinn for days. Henderson told police that person picked him up as he was walking from Abilene to Snyder. And drove him back to Levelland. He told police he and the same person borrowed a friend's car on April 16th and took Quinn to look for Quinn, but they didn't find her. Anyways, that was January 2019. Who is Jeannie Quinn? New details on the unsolved murder. On April 17, 2018, Jeannie Quinn's family members received news that no family member ever wants to hear. Her body was found in a field in Abilene, Texas. A hard wire was twisted around her neck, and she was hanging from a tree in a forest near Arnold Boulevard and Marigold Street in the town. The gruesome nature of her murder prompted the local area police to launch a full and complete investigation almost immediately after her body was found. This is website called Your Tango. There seems to be no sign of a break in the case, and you can also see the names, like, the thing is, all the links are in the description and the names on the screen. However, despite their best efforts and more than a year after her body was found, there seemed to be no signs of a break in the case, no leads on a possible murder suspect, and no sign of justice for the young woman who was taken too soon. Here, however, is what we know about Jeannie Quinn and her murder case so far. Let's see. When Jeannie Quinn's body originally found, and KTXS reported that while her death was considered suspicious, it was immediately classified as a homicide. It wasn't immediately classified as a homicide. She originally been reported as missing on Sunday, April 16, 2018, by her family, who hadn't heard from her in a few days due to the nature of where the body was located and other circumstances. Detectives are working this as a suspicious death. Someone was previously named as a person of interest. Jeannie Quinn's brother talking with us the first time 1 year after his sister's murder. No one has been arrested, but he's convinced he knows who did it. According to local NBC affiliate KCBD, shortly after Jeannie Quinn's body was found, 56-year-old Ricky Don Henderson was named a person of interest in connection to her death. Jeannie was just 20 at the time of her murder, so he was 36 years older. At the time of her murder, was dating Henderson at the time, and he was the last person to see her alive. While it's not uncommon for boyfriends and husbands to be interviewed as a person of interest in a murder investigation, and statistically speaking, women die at the hands of their intimate partners more than not, many people immediately believe that Henderson was responsible for Jeannie Quinn's murder. However, after interviewing him, police did not believe that he was responsible. It's difficult for investigators to solve the case because Jeannie Quinn is not from the area. According to Big Country, one of the main reasons why investigators are having difficulty solving Jeannie Quinn murder is because neither Jeannie nor her family are from Abilene area. For this reason, investigators are frequently asked the public for their help in solving the Jeannie Quinn murder. They ask the public, as they have for the past year, to call their office with any information they think will solve the murder. A generous reward is available. Her family is devastated. Regardless of how or why Jeannie Quinn's murder, the facts remain the same. Her family is completely devastated about the fact that her life was taken so brutally. Instead of celebrating her birthday, we are grieving and fighting for justice. Yeah. And then that was a Facebook post. Another Facebook? I already did that one. Okay. That one. Then 2021. Jeannie Quinn's murder remains unsolved nearly 3 years later.
Story of the murder of Jeannie Quinn. The 19-year-old woman was found dead in an Abilene field in 2018.
KTXS 12.
The person of interest in this case is behind bars, was just actually indicted for the 1993 murder of his wife. KTXS reporter John Rapolo has more for us this morning.
In April of 2018, 19-year-old Jeannie Quinn was found dead in an Abilene field, hanging from a tree with a wire around her neck. A medical examiner said it was a staged hanging. Quinn was last seen with this man, 59-year-old Ricky Don Henderson. We spoke to Quinn's
Ricky
uncle,
Don
John
Henderson.
Quinn, Tuesday by Zoom.
There's no doubt in your mind that Ricky Don Henderson is a killer, correct?
Correct. Always was.
According to court documents, Henderson and Quinn traveled to Abilene in the days prior to her death and had gotten into a fight. Fast forward to last week. Henderson was indicted by a Hockley County grand jury for the 1993 disappearance and murder of his wife, Stephanie Henderson.
See?
I was pushing for it with, let's just...
Yeah, so he has been charged on the murder of his wife now. I'm not sure why that Facebook page still makes it sound like it's not.
Last week, Henderson was indicted by a Hockley County grand jury for the 1993 disappearance and murder of his wife, Stephanie Henderson.
I was pushing for it with, let's just say, the authorities. And, to start somewhere.
Henderson was convicted of 2 drug charges last year. His parole was revoked for another crime. He is now serving a 20-year sentence at the Taylor County Jail. Last year, Quinn had 4 jailhouse interviews with Henderson.
You were trying to get him to confess, right?
Yeah, I was trying to get a feel on, try to get inconsistencies.
During those interviews, Henderson said he never killed Quinn. Abilene police say Henderson remains the sole person of interest in the Jeannie Quinn murder case, and they say their investigation is continuing. Quinn wants justice for Jeannie, a murder indictment. It's going on 3 years without any closure.
I want to hear from him, what happened, which I don't think we ever will.
John Rapolo, K-Texas News.
John, thank you.
Yeah, so it looks like they had an indictment on the other case, but now it's going to put Jeannie Quinn on hold. They probably just can't prove it. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? I mean, you thinking after they got in the fight that she literally took his truck? Yeah, I don't think so. I wonder where his truck was, though. Where did he put it? Because he obviously, I mean, it must have been found at some point, right? I mean, the truck that she took, where's the information on the truck? Where was it located? Did he end up miraculously just having it again someday? Anyway, let's see. So thank you, Caressa Goodwin on PayPal. She said, "Thank you, Gray. Thank you for creating nightly shows. I do not understand the issue." I'm not sure what that is. "I love listening to the readings. It's the beginning of your process, the process of justice. Appreciate all the work you do." Well, the thing is whenever I do the reading shows, like I've discussed, that some people just aren't as interested in that. The problem is I don't have time. Like, the thing is, I spend hours just putting the files together in order for us to go through. So if I sat there and read them all and then put together the whole story, well, the story would be shorter and it would be, I don't know if it would feel as cool to be part of the process, like literally trying to work through it all and putting it together. Let me move on. There's a few more here. That's what's so weird sometimes. It's like, we said that one time. I mean, one night when I was sitting there and I went, "Everybody type in a 1." Everybody typed in a 1. Then I said, "Hey, everybody, send in a $2 super chat." And then it was like ding, 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 and it just made all the difference in the world, right? It wasn't like somebody had to. It was like, instead of one person sending in 50, you had 25 doing 2, and it meant it's exactly the same thing, right? Yeah, this is one of those ones. So anyways, now we're on Thursday. Marked the 3rd anniversary where Jeannie Quinn of Levelland was reported missing to the Hockey County Sheriff's Office. Quinn was later found dead in Abilene. Her body was staged to make it look like hanging. In March of 2021, Henderson was indicted for the murder of his wife, Stephanie Meeks Henderson. I wonder how they met, actually, because it's interesting that she had a couple of those kind of criminal... Hey, thanks, Zozo! Appreciate it. And Amy Celeste, thank you. On March 2021, Henderson was indicted for the murder of his wife, Stephanie Meeks Henderson. She was reported missing on November 27, 1993. Her body has never been recovered. Henderson pleaded not guilty, and the case remains pending as of Thursday. Today is extra hard on Jeannie's family, as is a reminder of what she went through on that horrible day 30 years ago when that piece of crap took her life, John Quinn, Jeannie's uncle, wrote on Facebook. "We keep fighting and will never give up for accountability to be held," John Quinn wrote. Jeannie was such a sweet girl who did not have a mean bone in her body. We love and miss her very much and hope she's at peace. Henderson is currently in prison, a prison sentence for providing a controlled substance to a minor. Jesus. This guy right here, he's just one of the worst people that society ever has to offer. Look at, I mean, Jesus. Controlled substance to a minor. He had a girlfriend that was really young. Not that that's bad, you know, like makes him a meanie. But she ends up being murdered, and he's likely the one that did that. And then he ended up, his wife went missing after an argument too. So you have two stories where there's an argument with him, and one ends up going missing forever, and another one is found murdered, and maybe, you know, somebody hadn't stumbled upon her, she would have been missing forever. I mean, it's hard to know. Thanks, Jennifer Dotson. Hey, well, at least 3 people played the game. Thanks, Zozo. Or whatever you call it, the game of the, what do you call it? I don't even know what you call it, what that would be. Oh, what do you guys call it? The wave. The wave game. And yeah, I need to eat apples more. My brain doesn't work as good if I don't eat apples. I need more sugar, but I don't want to eat candy sugar. Alright, then we got moved to April 22. So this is just 4 months ago. 4 years after the murder of Jeannie Quinn, no charges have been made. I'm never going to be satisfied, the uncle said. He explains that his niece was more like a daughter to him as he stepped in whatever her father passed away a couple of years before her murder. Jeannie and her brother moved to Texas to be closer to their mother, but they planned to live with John in New Jersey if it did not work out. One day, Jeannie Quinn decided to go on a trip with her boyfriend, and she never came home. He was a bad character, says John. Family members filed a missing person report, and her body was found in Abilene field with hard wire around her neck. The only person of interest is her boyfriend, Ricky Don Henderson. He is in prison now for unrelated charges. Even though he's in prison, John will not stop trying to get justice, explained that Henderson is not in prison for what he wants him to be in prison for. Now that has been 4 years since the murder, he's worried. He's still thankful that Henderson is locked up. There's no doubt in my mind that he was involved. Yeah, so there was that other friend. You know, you wonder if that guy had something to do with it.
A person of interest in the now 4-year-old homicide case has been indicted for murder, but that was for killing a different woman nearly 3 decades earlier.
KCBD News Channel 11's Case Wilbanks joins us with why the family worries it may take that long to charge the man they hold responsible for her hanging. Case?
Karen and Abner, 2 days after she disappeared from Levelland, police found 20-year-old Jeannie Quinn's body in this area of Abilene 4 years ago this weekend. Her uncle worries the pace has slowed in a race against time.
Well, if you don't have hope, then it's over. Then you just, you pack up and, but that's not the case.
John Quinn has that hope that the person responsible for his niece's death, 20-year-old Jeannie, will be held accountable, but says 4 years later, it's frustrating.
This is KCBD,
no
links
justice.
in the description.
So, I mean, he is currently in prison, but he's not in prison for Jeannie's murder.
He's talking about now 60-year-old Ricky Don Henderson, a person of interest in Jeannie's apparent hanging in Abilene, later convicted for drug offenses and now indicted for the 1993 murder of his wife, Levelland's Stephanie Meeks.
We were happy about that, but and this is all going back because he drew the attention to himself on what he did to Jeannie.
But he worries justice for Jeannie could take just as long.
You know, he's not a healthy individual, so should he die, and then the case dies with them.
In a statement to KCB, about now 60 at hanging in Abilene, later convicted.
That looks like that's right in the same spot, right? I mean, is that even? Now there's a pole, probably over on this one. It's funny, that first one almost looked like it had this exact spot on there. But there's a big pole over there that doesn't exist. So maybe it's on the other side, I don't really know, but it looks just like that.
Convicted for drug offenses and now indicted for the 1993 murder of his wife, Levelland's Stephanie Meeks.
We were happy about that, but and this is all going back because he drew the attention to himself on what he did to Jeannie.
But he worries justice for Jeannie could take just as long.
You know, he's not a healthy individual, so should he die, and then the case.
What do you think he's got open back there? That looks like a cool program. Almost looks like Google Earth or, you know, something else. Maybe Google Maps.
Dies with them.
In a statement to KCBD, Abilene Police say the department does not have enough evidence to file the case with the DA's office against Henderson. John says he met with Abilene authorities, including the DA, in September, discussing the case and evidence, some of which he can't share with the public. But they have said cell phones were a key part of the case.
But from what I know, I wish they would concentrate or even take a second look or a third look or just dive a little deeper on the cell phone records, because it's a digital footprint and it would show the inconsistencies on Henderson's story, on his version of the events on what happened that day.
Or he hopes someone who knows something will find the courage to come forward as his family musters the strength to carry on.
But we could only control what's happening right now. And so that's why we keep moving and we keep fighting. Just keep going.
The Abilene Police Department continues to ask for information from the public. There's a non-emergency line for folks to call, or Abilene Crime Stoppers. That's 325-676-TIPS. We do have this information and a link to submit tips.
Yeah. And that's it. There he is, huh? Dennis! Just kidding. That's crazy. Ricky Henderson. I don't know. I think he has something to do with it. It's like, what are the odds? They get an argument with a wife years ago and he disappears. What they need to do is take that same stamp and get the DNA off of it and do genetic genealogy. Then you'll know exactly who sent that envelope. There's no doubt about it. So hopefully they're in the midst of doing that right now. And then once they do that, maybe they can use that murder, since it's Texas, they'll probably give him the death penalty, that they would actually put the death penalty on the table, and to get that off the table, he could admit to the murder of Jeannie, and maybe get some resolution in that case. But the only way to do it at this point, I think, is to get him charged with this murder and then reduce the sentence. Like, he could never get out of prison, but it would be take death off the table. Something like that. That's what is probably the best scenario at this point. And off the table for both cases, regardless. Even if he admits to the other one. So that's it. I'm gonna go get my Apple. Why come I can't open up voice mod? I think I have to reboot my computer. Yeah. I'll do that after the show. You guys want to do a bout of super chat, newspapers.com, try to find something? How about we try to find something related to... We tried this before, but maybe now that we're better at it, we could look up something that's similar to the like Delphi case. You know, if you could find something, what would be the elements? So the problem is we only got the one murder in the Delphi case where you've got a situation where it's at a park, but you know, maybe catfishing was involved. But I think a lot of people make a mistake and they always want to look up other cases that are at a park. You know, like it's always, oh, it's got to be at a park, and it's got to be near a river, and it's got to, you know, and then you're kind of limited to. But how do we know that that's really what the MO is, right? Like I found some stuff where let's see. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Pug Money 827. Thank you. Yeah, so remember, this is the super chat game. Okay, it's not type in whatever you feel like typing in. That's the people who send the super chats and get to have what they say read. And don't type up. It was. Yeah, it's not how somebody would ever type something like that. A newspaper article would never say. Yeah, it's more like I was using the word like lured, you know, to a park. You know, like lured, like girl lured, and that's basically it, right? And maybe like lured and assaulted, something like that. Not sure how they would call that, but then maybe do the time frame from like 1990 to 2016 to avoid coming up with the Delphi one. And then do a search on that, see what happens. Oh, well, look at that one. This is in California. Girl 10 lured from park, assaulted. That's the reverse, but kind of similar, right? At the park and assaulted. Oh, look, he's got the goatee and everything. This is 2001. A 10-year-old Modesto girl was kidnapped and sexually assaulted Thursday afternoon after she accepted a ride on a bicycle from a man she didn't know. Well, that's pretty weird, right? Here, let me put this off to the side. I think that's a good... Alright, so we got Jen Allison. Teens lured to their death. See, there you go. Alright, look at that one, see? This is in Georgia. East Cobb man, 52, convicted of rape. 14-year-old girls were lured from party and assaulted. So, I mean, I think that's the right direction. The word lured, I think, was what I found. I was just thinking the other day, is lured? Would that work? But then I didn't get to really spend a lot of time on it. Now, what's that one? Jeez. In a grisly twist of violence between a 16-year-old Israeli boy was shot to death in the West Bank town after he was lured there to meet someone. They keep doing the Israeli teen. A former girlfriend lured teen to death. When Seth Tyler Jackson received a text message from a 15-year-old ex-girlfriend saying she wanted to rekindle their romance and they should meet at Central Florida house. That's crazy. That's not the same. Seemed like what I typed in, girl lured and assaulted. That one had some good hits on it. Yeah, this is a super chat game, Blaze. It's like every time I say that out loud, people still type them in. Yep. Yep. Maybe I'll just put the one I had in back in. Doesn't seem like people want to play it. I like this. This one had some. An East Cobb man has been convicted of taking two 14-year-old girls, weird, from a house party and sexually assaulting them last October. But there was an arrest made. Robert Ray Wispy, now 52, see? Look at these people. These are the exact types right here. A man and a woman were arrested Friday in an apartment where Montreal police say runaway teenage girls were lured, bound, beaten, and tortured. 3 girls aged 15 and 16 who had fled group homes or youth centers were held one at a time and forced to participate in various sexual acts at knife point. Oh, Jesus, this is... How about we limit it to like the Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin area. Maybe even Kentucky, I guess. There. So all the states surrounding it, maybe not Wisconsin. Well, this is fun, everybody. All right, well, that's it. I guess that will call it a night. I gotta go get my apple, as Paulette Leonard is directing me to do. So I'm gonna go get my Honey Crisp, eat that up. Well, Amber jumps in with one. Don't know how to word it. Peeping Tom incident. Well, there you go. That might be interesting. Let's see. I think just the word peeping Tom, right? Like, maybe we can limit this one only to Indiana.
Don't know how to word it. Peeping Tom incident ends in a...
I mean, peeping Tom already is net bad, right? Help to correct behavior. Wasn't there another incident with Tony Klein where there was a peeping Tom incident and it was in the papers back in the day? Oh, good night, Regina. That's a Dear Abby article. So, time for peeping Tom. Hey, thanks, Amy Celeste. I do need an apple. How about like I mean, peeping Tom is just the generic term, so it seems like that would be in there.
She was more like a...
Michael Jackson. Hey, thanks, S-Jab. Dismissed juror had unusual concern. Joiner panelist suspected peeping Tom of crime. Not sure what that is. That's in South Bend, Indiana.
Grape show, thanks, Gray. Enjoy that honey crisp.
Oh, I will, man. I'm gonna suck that thing down. Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's the hug. Yeah. Oh, look at that. The bridge guy. There he is. Police made an arrest early Tuesday in the wake of several peeping Tom reports in Valparaiso. Aaron Way, 33, 456 South Greenwich Street, faces felony charges of voyeurism and misdemeanor resisting law enforcement, police said. This is 2015. Sergeant Thomas Zimmerman said he was working as part of a special assignment targeting the peeping Tom complaints. When at 1:05 a.m. he spotted a man, later identified as Way, wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, black bandana, and black sweatpants, walking in the area of Windridge Village. Officers involved in the arrest were working as part of the department's special deployment unit and were focused on the peeping Tom complaints. Well, there's one. Peeping Tom's wife should know the truth. Okay. This is 2016 again. Police say the arrest of a 17-year-old boy might have solved a series of peeping Tom complaints over the past year. The juvenile was arrested on suspicion of voyeurism, trespassing, and violating curfew. After the suspect's parents reported he was out past curfew, officers investigated and recognized a resemblance to the suspect described in the many previous peeping Tom complaints. The boy is accused of looking through a window just prior to returning home, LaPorte County Police Captain Mike Kellum said. Most importantly, I think he matched close to the description we had been getting for about 12 months now. Well, that's a weird one. Was there anybody else that... Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. What if I'll just eat my Honeycrisp and we just chat for a little bit? Okay, do you guys care at all? I won't eat it if it bothers somebody. Hey, Blue. Oh, there it is. The Honey Crisp. Isn't that better? Here it goes. Here it goes. Ah. Nothing better, man. Nothing better. What's better than the Honey Crisp, huh? There we go. I can't find it, Eugenie. Well, that's why I was trying to get the program working. Because I can't play the sound effect. I do still have it somewhere, though.
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
I have that one, because those are ones I made.
Did you hear what I said?
Do I need it, Eugenie, to mask the actual sound? Yeah, that doesn't really sound much like it, does it? Did you hear what I said?
Evil can never be dead enough.
I like that one too. Yeah, so none of the ones from a specific program called it's called Voice Mod. It doesn't work, so I have to reboot the computer. Mukbang ASMR. No, that's one, like, yeah, I guess you take a big bite and you get sort of full, I guess. Here's what I'll do for you, Eugenie. Oh, I do need the train horn. Yeah, let me get that one. Yeah, you can see how this works. There's a program called Stream Deck, and that's what this is. What? See this thing right here? All those windows represent the same buttons. This is on, and you can have like a million different screens. So let me. Yeah, so that's what the screen looks like now. But like on the third one, there's nothing on there yet. So I could click on that one and then go over to the soundboard one, play audio, put that up here maybe. And then here I would type in train horn, I guess. And then here I go find it. So I think that's under, where the hell do I put the F? OBS Studio maybe? I don't know. No, maybe it's... I don't know where the hell it is. Maybe it's under the other OBS Studio. I think it's under... Oh, there it is. Soundboard. Right here. Then audio. And I'm not sure what I called it, but I'm sure I have it in here. Do you guys remember what I called that thing? Auctioneer. Chewy. Did you hear what I said? Drama. Dude. Dumb question. Oh, remember that one? Here, let's play that one. Remember this one? Let's see.
How did you arrive to that conclusion that they were there?
The body was there.
Well, the car.
She was in the car. I'm not following.
So how did you arrive to that conclusion that they were there?
The body was there.
Well, the car.
She was in the car.
Remember that ridiculous question that one reporter asked? Oh yeah, and this, remember this one, the Bree Bree
You funny as fuck, Bree.
from the Kanika Jenkins. God have mercy on your soul. Good night, freaks. What is that one?
Good night, freaks. Good night, freaks.
Oh god, that was Darrow. Remember that? Oh shit, that was so loud. What's this one here?
They're coming to take me away. They're coming to take.
Yeah, that's what I feel like right after playing that video that we just that I was talking about earlier. Unbelievable. What's this one? Honesty.
Honesty is hardly ever heard.
That's exactly right. Another song directed right at those idiots. That, let's see. Huh? Trackable. It's a house. Judd Mosquito. Lying. Mick No. Not lying. Okay, bye. One step above. Oogla Boogla. What was that one? Was that the one that...
Oogla Boogla.
That was Kelsey at CrimeCon. Remove... Yeah, what's that one?
You will now be removed from this YouTube channel.
I think that was Ada when I did that one. Round and round. Oh yeah, I like this one. Because people that just keep doing the same thing over and over. Yeah. Oh, we got this one too. We just added this one. Oh crap! We actually have a. It's almost like the everything mug. The sound effects, you know. It's like almost like an album of sorts. I think. Oh, there it is. All right. They're coming to take me away. Ho ho hee hee. Just gotta go back and find it again. I just lost it. It's the Stream Deck. No, that wasn't it. Soundboard, audio. Where was I? It was down here. One step above stupid. The slow clap. Oh, here it is. There it is. Oh, yeah. Hey, are you guys paying attention? Okay, good. All right, there we go. Hey, let's see if we can add some more here. Hold on. Truck sound. It doesn't remember where you just were. Dumb. Oh, I always like this song.
You're in trouble. What are you gonna do?
Oh yeah, You're in Trouble. Rat, they have like 3 good songs. Let's see. You Are So Mean. Who did this one?
You're so mean. Look at me. I'm just a girl. Why would you treat me like that?
Ha ha ha! Yeah, that's you know what's weird? That's a perfect one for some women on YouTube. Like, they think like they can just say whatever they want and you're not supposed to respond back. You know? Instead of just saying, you know what? In today's world, we're all the same. Okay? Except when you go out to dinner or somebody's opening a door. But if you're debating with somebody or arguing with somebody on social media, for God's sake. You can't get angry if they argue back to you just like they do to everybody else. Yeah, we got some good ones in here. I keep shutting this down though, it's driving me crazy. There it is, soundboard, audio. Yeah, there's the truck horn, you're in trouble, you're so mean. How about this one? What does that one do?
Ray is so mean.
What did that one?
Ray is so mean. Ray is so...
Was that Kelsey again? I can't remember. She did that twice.
Ray is so mean.
Oh yeah, remember this one from the Kanika Jenkins case?
Slow your roll, shorty. Slow your roll, shorty.
Slow your roll, shorty.
Your shadow's got you on the run.
Yeah, yeah. But you see, I use that one for the Kanika Jenkins case too. You know, the shadows they were always talking about. All right, anyways, that's it, you guys. So, hey, look at that. We got an extra one in there. The horn. I'm sure you guys love that one. Now, it's called a Stream Deck. Or what would you need it for, Liz? All right, you guys. Thank you very much. Oh, don't tell me. She always gets stuff off the stream and then gives it to other YouTubers. Oh, darn it. God. I knew it. You could use Cash Me Outside. How about that on Trolls? What does that mean? You could use Cash Me Outside. Somewhere the other day that said, I hate Gray. He had thousands believing that Kanika was an accident. Well, it's true. Right, yeah, watch. Somebody else that I know will actually have that same device, Liz. I can guarantee it. Yeah, I don't really care, though. I mean, that's what they're for. It's for streaming. But, yeah, no, people are still commenting on, you know the video that I have that has like 2 million? There's a video that I have in the Kanika Jenkins case that has 2.5 million views. Which is... It's weird how some videos make it into this crazy algorithm thing where they're a viral video. And it's not even that good. You know, it's pretty good, but it wasn't anywhere near my best video in that case. That was cool doing that one. You want to hear something crazy? If that video was today, I would still be the only person putting out the logical... factual videos on the Kanika Jenkins case. I guarantee it, because all these other people would want to be on the side of total bullshit and nonsensical information to be on the side of popularity. Like they would be the ones where, oh, look, oh, yay, and then looking at every little thing, questioning everything, always being skeptical of every single thing. And where I would be the one debunking them still today. See, at the beginning of the Kanika, that was at the very sort of infancy almost of like live, you know, I wouldn't say total infancy, but when it started becoming a bigger thing, doing live true crime stuff. And now it's, you know, much bigger. But if you notice, it's almost all still the same. Everybody likes to do the sensationalistic angle because that's how you get as many people. Like the people that do the, you know, still covering Dylan Rounds every night or Summer Wells nightly. They just look for one little thing to chomp on, and then everybody does a 3-hour show on nothing. You know what's amazing is you could, in the, what was it? What the heck was it? Yeah, I mean, what people are doing now is they'll just find one little hook and then talk about it for 3 hours. And I don't know how that's possible. I think you guys would get bored to death. I mean, we literally, tonight we did, 4 or 5 different things. Maybe 3 or 4. I don't even remember now, but it's like, stuff going on. There are actually 4 different things. We did the quicknewspapers.com thing. We did a case that involved, looked like maybe he had killed before, and then we did the short part about the semi-truck cab, and then we also did the one that, talked about the beginning of the show, the craziness in the Delphi case again. I'm going to keep debunking. I'm not going to use people's names, but when you put out something that you cannot claim as a fact and do claim it as a fact, I'm going to put out a video showing how you cannot claim it's a fact. Now, if it's a fact, then that's what it is. But as long as you keep putting out information that's not factually accurate to say something is a fact, then I'm going to do something. I hope you guys don't mind, but I feel like it's actually necessary to do. Right. But don't you guys feel the same, like if the Kenneka Jenkins case was today, don't you still think that I would be the only one trying to disprove all the nonsense? Because you still watch all these people and they don't do it. They never do it. They roll with it because it works. It sells. God. I mean, I think that's why I hear from, behind the scenes, like I hear from, detectives sometimes and police officers and whatnot, and they're saying, hey, we really appreciate the way you do your show. Okay? Yeah, it makes me feel good. I can't put their names on there, but there's one guy, Jeff S. He came up to me at CrimeCon, and he's the one who's helped out on some of the donations for the DNA fund for Identifiers International. And so, he came up to me at CrimeCon. It was cool as hell. And then he sent me an email just recently again. And so those are kind of neat feelings. And especially also when family members get a hold of you and say, hey, we really appreciate you covering the case and going through it the way you did. I mean, I get that comment a lot. Of course there's mistakes made. Like, for example, and the one that I was just talking about at the beginning of the show was, there's a few different things. Like the grandparents weren't the same that the con, number 3 stayed at, and then the fire was a different grandmother, things like that, it's in the adoption part. But they appreciated going through it like that, and a lot of times they'll say, man, we didn't even hear some of that stuff before. Isn't that amazing? It's a neat feeling. It's just hard to, it's hard to share it every time, with everybody. But yeah, well, I'm going to always keep calling it out. Yeah, that was pretty cool how that one changed a lot of minds. Delphi was probably the second one because that one, I did the same thing. I mean, a lot of people saw the debunking of the madness and were like, oh my God, you're right. Jesus, this is stupid. Right? But yeah, the Kenneka Jenkins one was that at the beginning of that case, I was a pariah, somebody that every single person following that case hated. And then I would say after I got a hold of the entire surveillance footage and started putting stuff together, man, people were starting to, even people that didn't like me before, and guess what? Chasing Truth was one of those people. I mean, even to this day, like she doesn't like to admit it, but she was one of the people that was always thinking it was a murder all the time. And then she started watching some of my videos. That's how we became friends, actually, because she watched some of my videos and was like, man, how do you argue against that? That is 100% accurate right there. It's not even opinion, it's just what it is. And then she gave me a safe place, like even on her show, like she'd be doing a live stream or something, and I'd go over there and people would try to like harass me, and she'd go, nope. Like, I don't know, it was pretty cool. So that's how we became friends, like 4 or 5 years ago. And you know, then she actually became got to be more sort of the, you know, reasonable thinking about it. I think that actually changed a little bit of how she looked at stuff, because there was so much madness going on. I mean, just the craziest stuff you've ever seen. You know, people talking about, that's not even her. She's not even alive in the video. Her walking down the halls, it's fake. See, you notice how there's a crossover similarity there? I mean, even in the Delphi case, you have these crazy people that think the video of the killer on the bridge is doctored up and fake. It's not a real video. It's a fake video that people put together. The same thing was going on in the Delphi, in the Kenneka Jenkins case. Oh, those are all fake surveillance footage shots. Oh, somebody's actually holding her up, but they edited out the person. Look at that. There's a guy in blue standing in the corner there. Turns out it's like crates for milk or whatever. And the guy in blue, after you get the surveillance footage, is still standing there 2 days before. Because there wasn't a guy in blue. It was just crates, right? And then remember, Straight Drop was talking about how there was a guy. Listen to this one. It's actually kind of funny. That there was a guy over at the ice bin beating up Kenneka. And when I got it, I played it. See, what he did, he put like, he'd make it black and white and grainy, and he'd wiggle it around on the screen and go, look at it. And then what I would do was take the actual surveillance footage and show it what it really was. So I would just immediately debunk these people. And it really, what it was is, you know when you're getting ice, you scoop in with your fist. You go like this. You got the scooper in your hand and you scoop in, right? He was calling that punching somebody. I mean, it was unreal. It was absolutely crazy Looney Tunes stuff. And there was a couple other people that helped me out with the mapping and sort of the overall look of the, you know, what was going on inside the building. And after we did that, all the surveillance footage actually made sense. And then I put it all together where Kenneka, you know, they have all these stories out there that she was walking around for hours, and how did nobody ever see her? It's incredible, everybody. How come nobody ever saw her? And the reality is that she was only walking after she got out of the elevator on the bottom floor for 7.5 minutes before she eventually wandered into an unused kitchen, walked into the cooler, then the freezer, and then froze to death because she couldn't figure out how to get out. Now, everybody and their dog was talking, oh, they've edited out the people. There was somebody that put her in there. And then one of them said she had an organ removed. People were actually saying she had her organs removed from inside there. Right? It's just unbelievable. And they pointed to a scar that she had on her stomach. And then you look at it and you go, how come she has a scar? So you're saying that they took the organ out, sewed her up, and it healed all the way into scar mode all over the weekend. Anyways, it's unbelievable, people. And that's the same kind of logic that was being deployed on the spitting story. Let me see if I can find that video that does the walkthrough really quick. Let's see. Grant Hughes, Kenneka Jenkins, actual time, is that what I called it? Oh man, I have so many of them right here. See, look at all these videos that are right here. They're just, it's crazy. How did she really say that? Why did you? Oh yeah, this is it. On camera time. So watch this. This is actually pretty sweet. Watch it. Hey, look at that. Even had the same intro back then. I don't know if I have the part that says. So when was this one made? So this has 68,000 views. It was made on July 14th, 2018. No, check it out. Check it out. This one's pretty sweet. Hello, this is Grant Hughes. Today I'm doing a technical video on the Kenneka Jenkins case. But before we get started, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And make sure you hit that notification bell right next to the subscribe button. If you don't do that, you'll virtually never get a notification for any of my videos, as YouTube has a new algorithm that... Look at that, I got my hat on backwards, just like my sketch. That only puts the Uber YouTubers in there. It's really quite disturbing, to be honest with you. Buffer or pre-buffer. The next motion a lot longer. So I think this is it right here, right? Here she comes. Look, it's 3:25 and 12 seconds. So there she goes. And I actually have the real time going up there. Watch. There it is. So she's walking by. She goes up this ramp. You'll see her here in a second again. So that's the actual time on up above. Okay, so here I'll just do this again. Let me start it over. Okay, so it's 3:05, 3:25 and 5 seconds. And then she stumbles out here, and then she walks this way and takes a left and goes up this ramp. But she's kind of stumbling around. So here it goes. So it's at 3:25 in the morning and 10 seconds. This is probably my best video that I made. One of them. The 3D one was probably better. There she is, wandering up the stairs. And notice right over here is the actual time on the video itself. And just I'll let you know, so when you're watching this, just realize that there's a buffer. As soon as motion's detected, the camera's always recording, right? As soon as motion's detected, and it doesn't store the recording, it just keeps recording like 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. It's always recording 10 seconds. As soon as motion is detected, it adds the previous 10 seconds and then starts recording until it loses the motion, and then it continues to record for another 10 seconds. All right, so here she is walking. The red box is a zone that she was detected moving in. Right there. And when you're watching this, just notice there's never another soul around. It's 3:30 in the morning on the lower levels of a hotel. See, right now it's only 3:26 and 20 seconds. Alright, I played that music even back then. It's a little loud, of course. See, the red has already gone off, so... See, watch when she's walking over here. Right there, that quadrant picked her up for a second. It's 3:26 and 37 seconds. Now, as soon as the red box goes away, there should be another 9 seconds. And then it quits recording. Okay, 38 should be like 46 or 47. Oh, there you go, 48. Okay, boom, gone. So we did all this research on how these cameras work too. And then here she is walking down farther. Absolutely intoxicated. There's the time up there, 3:27, 12 seconds. And I just keep the clock going, and it's just dark when she's not on camera, okay? So, over here, I keep track of how long she was on each camera. 12 seconds, 37, 35, 22. Now she goes into this kitchen that's right down there as well. And then she stumbles by the camera. Now the next shot, you just see her head down in the lower right-hand corner as she's leaving. It's only 1 second. So she's kind of stumbled around inside the kitchen. I'm not sure. The music's just really loud because... Well, I can turn it down, actually. I don't need that. Yeah, so she's back further into the kitchen. Wandering around in that same kitchen. She was only on there for 3 seconds. And then she's back at that original shot, and there was her head. You just saw it barely in there. That's all there was for that one. Really short video. 1 second. Then she goes back out into this other hallway and kind of just stumbles around. I made another version of this where there's a 3D character that actually fills in the spot. I should do a, I don't know if it would be worth it to do a live show again on Kanika again for those that are still out there. So there she is, wandering around in this hall. Look how intoxicated she is. So she actually had a drug called topiramate in her system that's for anti-seizure medication, and then she drank like Hennessy from a bottle. All right, and the mixture between the two really can make you extremely intoxicated. So look at her. She's just barely able to function. Her breasts actually come out of her bra a couple times. And then right over here, she stumbles over near a drinking fountain. And while she's over there, she's not on surveillance anymore. Motion isn't being detected. So at that point, so this is where people claim things happen, even though you never see a soul. See, that's what these people do. It's easy to do that. Oh, see, there was somebody there. There was some. And now she goes into the men's bathroom, which again shows how intoxicated she is. She goes into the men's bathroom, and she spends like 40 seconds in there doing whatever. We don't know. And don't go, well, there was some guy in there. And so, no, if there was, you probably would have seen him on camera. Oh, okay, they knew about the camera. See, there's always an answer by the conspiracy nut jobs. Instead of just saying to yourself, yeah, it just kind of looks like there's nobody around. Yeah. So right now we're only at 3:30, right? So you're still following along here, Amber? So it was 3:25 earlier, right? And now it's just 3:30, 34 seconds. Now we're at 3:30, 37 seconds. She kind of starts to go around by the drinking fountain again. Goes around the corner again. And then soon she comes back out. And people say, oh, there's somebody grabbing her and then pulling her back. Right there. Oh, somebody's pulling her. Oh, yeah. No, she just stumbled backwards, okay? And now she walks towards the camera again. Yeah, so it was 3:25, I think, when it started, right? Nah, I can't even remember now. 3:25. So now we're at 3:31. 18 seconds, she walks by the camera, goes through two double doors, and now she's walking in a weird place where you... I do have another... I'll play the other video after this one. Because right now she's walking down a hallway where there's a dumpster and the one camera that was there doesn't work. So of course that means all kinds of things. It might be like 8 minutes total. I can't remember now. So right now she is walking. There's this hallway and then these stairs that go up. And then she kind of, they go, she couldn't have made it up some stairs. Yeah, you can, man. There's guardrails. How many of you have been drunk as hell and made it upstairs? I mean, when people say it couldn't have happened, that's the kind of stuff that drives me nuts, you know. When something like that's definitely possible. Then she makes it up into a kitchen. As you can see, nobody's following her at all. She makes it up into the kitchen. She's just continually walking, looking around, and then she, I was right, I think she shows up one more time here. No, she doesn't. And then they find her back there inside of a freezer. So she was only on camera for 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and the total time was 7 minutes and 49 seconds. Isn't that amazing? All right. Well, I hope you guys appreciate. Yeah. So the thing is, that's the reality of it. Now here's the other version that I made. Not as quick as somebody seemed to like a full walkthrough. So this is the full. Anyways, some people like the nomination. So this is the. I put a 3D character in here. This is from all the way upstairs in the room. They believe the upper. So she gets on that elevator. So that's the elevator. Then she comes down. She comes out on the lower level. It's called the pass elevator. I guess I could just do it, but so I actually fill in the blanks, 3D stuff. I think maybe not in this case. This time up here in the upper right-hand corner is the system time, and it syncs up all the cameras. You can just like right now when Kanika walks by this area right here, had she taken a left right there, she would be right up in the lobby. Yeah, if she took a left right there, she would have been in the lobby. Right now, if she'd taken a left, she'd be up in the lobby. She'd have to go up. Oh yeah, there's stairs. I still get comments all the time. And that it's a murder. You could just cut over to the lobby camera and you'd see her coming up. It's that accurate. Okay, right there she was using the wall to hold herself up. Yeah, so right over here I fill in some of the stuff with 3D characters. So it doesn't look just like her or anything. She does move relatively quickly, not as quick as somebody obviously not intoxicated could walk, but I mean she's just really staggering around. Sort of disoriented, off balance a little bit. But as you can see in the later on when she's in the bathroom footage, near the bathroom, it's called lower level bathroom. So that was just the camera at the other end of the hall picking her up, continuing. Which is the same, you know, there's rails in the stairs that lead up to the upper kitchen. All right, so here goes. This video has 390,000 views. End of this long hall after she took that left. And now she's heading to the. So somebody did a walkthrough, so I used their stuff. For that part. It's not the greatest animation in the world, but it kind of looks how she was moving. Through those same double doors, and then Antoine M's video. So after she goes through those double doors, she actually goes through another set of double doors, and the way that character was walking was so similar. Lower level kitchen. Okay, now apparently there's kitchen 2. Sort of off to the left of the screen right there that Kanika went in, and we see her on surveillance camera. I've seen it so many times at this point it doesn't really affect me anymore. It's just kind of a. And that's right here, kitchen 2. So you'll see her walk by. And then you'll see her in the lower level kitchen, just the top of her head, right down here in this. There it is, right there. Yeah. And then she goes out. There's a little side exit from there. Yeah. So this is how it actually looks. Okay. See, so you come out of that kitchen. There's a side exit, and then this double doors right here. Watch. And then heads straight out, and this is where the lower level bathroom area is. Okay, So she through first those goes double in there, doors. and then we'll cut to the surveillance footage. And there she goes, see? And we'll just skip through this because Right, we've so already right seen there's this. 22nd one. Yep, right there. It was exactly. All right. And her foot So then she walks by the camera motion, I again. mean. Then her feet
Goes
pick
through
up
those
on
same
the
two double doors
next
that she went
box,
in
and then
a
she
minute
goes
ago.
back through
See?
these double
Yeah.
doors, the same one she went in a couple minutes prior.
And this
She
is
walks by now,
exactly
so
how
there's no
it went
surveillance
right here.
This one up here, if it's a real surveillance camera, is not working. It's possible it's a dummy camera, but you know, that's just wild speculation. So this camera wasn't working right here. And she takes a left right here. And I think I fixed it. Okay, now you can see the door. On my previous one, you couldn't see it, but she heads right towards those doors.
Yep.
Okay, then she heads.
See, this video here was just money. It showed the entire route based on photographs that law enforcement provided.
All right.
Then she goes up the stairs and look, it comes out right here.
Here's an overlay.
And then she stumbles through those doors where the ice machine is. See?
Footage. Then she
There's the
goes
ice
through
machine
the
right
first set
there.
of double doors. And then you'll see her come through this.
And there's a
set of
camera
double
right up
doors
here
that lead right into the
filming her coming in.
upper kitchen. Some people call it the kosher kitchen. And then she walks by the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, and
See, that's what it looked like. She
walks
went back
to
there
the cooler.
first.
I think she went back to that other cooler first. Okay, then she came back to this area. This isn't going to have any animation, but this is just going to show people that aren't familiar with this. So after looking in that other cooler, she opens up this door right here.
I mean, how can you
So just
debate
pretend
this thing?
you
It
can
was so
see it right
accurate.
there.
People are trying to claim there's people in every one of these locations waiting.
There's another footage where
It's just
there's actually
crazy.
looks like motion going into the actual cooler area. So that's what this is, where that box is. That's in the cooler. Okay, now it's looking back out the door she came, and inside.
Then there's
that
another
cooler
door, that's the
is
freezer.
the freezer door, which is right there. So as soon as you come in, you just take a quick left, and you're right there at the freezer door.
Yeah.
And here's the freezer door. And I think
Yeah. So, anyways, that just kept going. But back then, they actually put out 360-degree images, and I was able to use them. I know how to actually make them work. So look at this. This is the whole kitchen and everything. So
plug-in for Adobe that allows you to export
here's
this
that
case
ice machine.
4 times clearer.
Yeah. So she came in through these
'cause that's what
doors,
the images are
right?
meant.
And then she walked out these doors. And once you go out those doors, you just can move forward in time and look up in the air. There's the camera. And then when you have this shot right here, you can see exactly how she walked. She walked like this, and then back right between there. And I think another shot, it puts, let's see, where is this one? This one, yeah, that's the same angle. So basically she came in that door, walked right through, passed around there. And now this is actually against the far wall. So again, she came in over here, walked over like this. Now you can see where she would have walked like this, maybe back into that room first, then the cooler, which is right there. And when you get inside, this is the cooler here. And still in the cooler. Actually, no, this is the back cooler. The one that she went in is right over here. And so she goes into that one first. And then here is where she was found, on the ground right here. And see all these like the black stuff right there? Well, people were wondering what that was, but it turns out it's the insulation on these pipes. You know, she probably was in here. Let me go into the final room, and she was probably trying to figure out how to get out, and was like grabbing stuff off the pipes right there. And you know, she was found on the ground in the cooler freezer. So that's how it worked. You know, it was a crazy case because there were so many. Every single day I had no problem finding something to debunk the hell out of. I mean, it was so easy. You know, people saying, look, they're carrying Kanika's body in a bag. And then I would look at it and I'd trace back that individual using about 20 different surveillance cameras and show that the person was just dragging a bag of cloth out of a hall. You know, it was just unreal, the whole thing. There wasn't, there was a couple times where it's like, yeah, that's interesting or something, but overall, when you put it all together, it's just really obvious. So, anyways, thank you guys for being here. We've got, we can draw for, how about we draw for a Freak Heart mug with the sketch on it, with my, the same sketch with the backwards hat that I have. So it's a Freak Heart mug with the backwards hat. And thank you to Jen Allison and Caressa Goodwin on PayPal. And then thank you to Scott Holland, The Velvet Army, Double Cat Eye, Tawny Lee, Sherlock Hemlock, Bobby, Jackball TV, Kelly Dragonborn, Kathy Friedenmaker, Pebs W, Anthony Galvez, Candalee Woodward Stone, Scott Holland, Eugenie, Not Corvalli, Amber Maiden, Jen H, MM, Eugenie, Titanican, Tina Susser, Freebird Forever, Zozo, Amy Celeste, Jennifer Dotson, Pud Money 827, Jen Allison, Amber Maiden, Amy Celeste, and S Jab. So thank you guys very much. And I got the names here, so we'll put them into the wheel. The lizard eye wheel for everybody. There, I'll do it over here. Alright, so this is going to be for the Freak Heart mug with a sketch. You guys all ready? Alright, well, here we go. Look at that, Freebird Forever. Freebird Forever wins the Freak Heart mug with a sketch. Oops, wrong button. All right, how about we'll do one notebook too? All right, so here we go. That is cool, on her birthday. What are the odds, huh? And Pebs W won the notebook. All right, Pebs W, don't forget to send me, both of you, send me your address. Anyways, thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. You guys being here tonight. And I appreciate you guys all helping support the channel. Trying to get some, help support me to keep doing what I'm doing, plus the amazing charity numbers that we've been putting out there. $92,000 so far since 2020, which is crazy, right? I mean, that's, if the year was over, that'd be like, what is it? Almost, well, over $30,000 average each year. So I think we'll definitely, if we just keep up a decent pace, and it's got to be nightly, that will get to 100,000, I have a hard time thinking that we wouldn't be able to get there. You know, even if we did 3 this month, now that'd be 95, and then you'd only have to come up with 5 for the remaining 3 months. I'm hoping to do way more. It'd be great to get to like 108 or something. But you know, the economy sucks, so it seems like it's a little bit better. Like you know, I mean, I don't know how to really. It's just kind of like the stock market's kind of seemed like it hit a bottom and starting to kind of try to figure its way out or something, but who the hell knows, right? All right, everybody. Thank you guys very much for being here. If you are a channel member and don't have the Discord, send me an email. I'll send you a link to it. But thank you guys very much. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect,
Joe, just remember,
I have a temple fucking check ya.
I have no agenda, or no agenda. We're also renting your stream without a blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I have like literally, just regarding the Kanika Jenkins case. I feel like I've got like at least 70 videos or something. And it's not like somebody overdoing a case. It didn't have that feel at all. I was just a necessary person. It was almost like I was a forest fire fighter, and I kept putting out little fires all over the place so it wouldn't turn into and burn down the entire city. You know, so I would just keep putting out fire, and that's just what it was. You know, I was trying to make sure that people were getting the opportunity to see the truth, not the garbage that other people wanted them to see. And that's kind of why I feel the way I feel on so many cases. Right? So, all right, guys, thank you very much, and until next time, be safe out there.
Yeah, everybody, be safe out there.
Hey, that was pretty good, Mary Lou.
Hey, thanks, Greg. I'm starting to like you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you're right. Bye-bye.
See? All right. Anyway, see you guys later.